Welcome in to the Locked On Penguins first round draft live stream on the YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone who's been waiting patiently. We were getting our checks done here because this is the first time we've done this. So
I haven't done this in 3 years. You've never done this before, but last
No.
time we were live, or I was live, Jesse was on here for the trade deadline when they acquired Raquel. I hope that my two dogs don't start barking up a storm downstairs. That's for sure.
Yeah, unlike when we record an episode, I don't have my phone on Do Not Disturb, so you might hear some dingings from my laptop. But like I said on the show earlier today, if you haven't already listened to our Friday episode, this is going to be a little bit more laid back. This is just us hanging out. We're watching the draft together. Not going to be anything too serious. We can see the chat here. Someone's already telling me to start barking. That's pick number 2. That is pick number 2. When Bailey, the girl from the Bay, WWE superstar, the role model, makes the pick for the San Jose Sharks. I'm not going to bark, spoiler alert, but
hi, Teddy.
RF hockey fan, greetings from Portugal. This is awesome. Thank you for being here.
I already have one of the pups up here now.
We already got the dog. We already got a dog. My dog's right outside the door waiting for her mom to get home. So I'm old news at this point. I already got back from going for a run before the rain hit, so she doesn't care about me anymore. But Hunter, we didn't bring this up on the show today. Well, we kind of did. So can you at least give us a little bit of what the rumor was surrounding Brian Rust from Elliot Friedman?
Basically, he talked about it on 32 Thoughts, and then he went on some Sportsnet radio station. I forget what it is. Those NHL Rumor Report accounts always circulate social media, and basically sounds like the Sabres are really interested in Brian Rust, and there's talk that the Penguins might try and get up to number 9 potentially, but I think if you want Martone, you might have to go up a little higher than that. If you ask me, I think it's wishful thinking to think Martone is going to fall to 9. I think there's a better chance of Hagen's falling to 9, in my opinion. So there's that's out there. Also, the thing with Rust is he's got to waive his NMC. If he really wants to, he could be an ass and be like, hey, I still got this for a few more days. I'm going to decline this, even though this goes away on July 1st. Again, we have to see what happens. It's going to be a fun night. We have to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I kind of said that on the show in our Fan Take Friday segment, basically when we got asked about Rust, that yeah, it's only in place for 3 more days, the NMC. And it's not even so much that he wouldn't do it or be a pain, but it just makes the process harder because you have to go to his agent, you have to go to him, you have to tell him the proposal, he has to approve of it, rather than just saying, okay, we're going to trade you this guy for this pick or this prospect or whatever. So that kind of complicates it, throws some sand in the gears. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, we kind of talked about this. The thing we didn't talk about on the show, you and I talked about it pre-show, was if you're going to move up to 9, I don't want to see both the picks at 11 and 12 packaged. I don't even want to see either of them packaged just to move up 2 spots. Like, it's not the deepest draft. You could probably get somebody better at 9, but realistically, how much better are you going to get?
For probably a center in that situation. Brandon does have a cool comment here. Does he really have to waive it? They could imply future considerations and then just send him after July 1st. I mean, right now, technically, he still has it, but if he really wants to, he could be a complete ass. Teddy, you don't need to bark about that.
I'll say this about that idea, because I kind of floated that. I can't remember if I floated it on an episode or if it was when we were just BSing before a show one day. But
player comp for Martone, me and my buddy, we were talking about that a lot. Kind of like a Blake Wheeler, honestly. There's people out there that talk about like a Kachuk, a Tom Wilson. I don't see it. Kind of like a Blake Wheeler, if I had to say. Hagen's is a bit more silky, so I think that type of player. But Martone, like, they're both so good. Martone just plays, to me, like a little more heavier. I wouldn't say he's a pure power forward, though.
Yeah, and back to the Rust thing about the future considerations. Like I said, I can't remember if I said it on the show I think I might have said it offhand, like as a joke, like, oh, you could just say, like the commenter said, sorry, it already fell out of my little thing here, is you can just say, oh, future considerations. And then July 1, you send them Brian Rust. The other thing you kind of have to keep in mind there is that could be seen as bad business, and you don't want to get that reputation as a team. Like, I don't think it's going to hurt the Rangers all that bad. The stuff they did with like Goodrow when they basically waived him against his will, basically. But at the same time, you don't want to get the reputation of a team that does business like that. That could really harm future signings, future trades, because if teams think, oh, they're just going to screw me over and wait until this thing ends and they're not going to work with me, it could be a problem. I don't see it being that catastrophic, but it just doesn't strike me as the kind of business Kyle Dubas would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably not. I think if you're really trading him, again, there's for Buffalo, Constantelius, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. That's someone who I would die to get from Buffalo. I just don't think the Sabres would want to trade him because, for 14th overall pick in the 2024 NHL Draft, pretty good season for Rochester in the AHL. I think he's just about NHL ready. Again, I've been saying for a while, you got to really blow me away to trade Brian Rust, someone like that coming back, if you want to trade up. But again, like for that, like, are you trading up for O'Brien? Is he going to be there at 9? Are you trading up for McQueen? We have to see what happens with McQueen. Still, I don't know if he's going to go in the top 10. He could slide out. He could go in the top 5 potentially. We'll have to see there. My boy.
Here we go. First overall pick is in New York Rangers. Let's see who it is.
Rangers, huh?
I say Rangers, Islanders. No, they gave us their pick. That's
Matt. Yeah, if they Galaxy Brain Schaefer, that would have been ridiculous. This is where it gets fun, though. San Jose, don't Galaxy Brain this. You don't need to take Frondell here. I like Anton. I like Frondell quite a bit. Just take Misa. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, they don't need to overthink this. Just get up there. I mean, yeah, a quick pick already in. It's the first overall. I think we know who it's going to be. Let's wait for good old Gary here, whoever they've got to do their first round selection here. Did they announce who it's going to be?
I'm watching ESPN. Everyone knows it's Schaefer. Like they even said the pick is in. They're not.
Did the Islanders? Do they have like a celebrity pick announcement, or is it just going to be Gary Bettman?
I don't know.
We've got a trade to announce. No, we don't have a trade to announce. I'm just doing a bad Gary impression.
Yeah, it's Schaefer. Yeah,
there we go.
The New York Islanders get fun because you could see Frondell go to. You could say Misa go there. I think Dewaney is going to go potentially top 5. I wanted to include him in the Penguins Pacific big board, but I felt like he was so unrealistic that I just didn't want to waste putting him on there. Like, obviously, I've watched the tape for him. He's great, but he's going to go in the top 7 for sure, I think.
Dawn in the comments, you're absolutely right. It's going to be a Gary Bettman heavy night because the only teams in the I didn't admittedly do a ton of research on it. Like I made the joke about one of my favorite WWE wrestlers, Bailey, doing the Sharks pick. I know that Joshua Jackson is doing the Anaheim Ducks pick from the Mighty Ducks, which will be awesome. And I also saw that I don't know her real name, but whoever it was that played Connie in the Mighty Ducks is also part of it. So that'll be really cool. But
goat just chilling in the draft war room.
Just hanging out in Market Square in their temporary offices.
I know.
I work like half a mile, if that, from Market Square. And one coworker showed me the video and goes, "Let's go knock on the door. Let's see if they'll let us in."
Hello, can we come in? Get the hell out.
Hey, Kyle, can I come see what's going on? Oh, buckle up, Pat. Here comes Bailey.
If you start barking, you're out. Get out.
Spoiler alert, it's not going to happen.
This is going to be, well, for everyone that is out there, about over 100 of you, thank you guys, by the way. We'll probably be live until after the Penguins make their 2 picks after pick 12, give our analysis on those 2, wrap up, and then we'll probably cut some of the audio up and put it up for Apple, Spotify, and then assuming anything else happens, we'll have an emergency episode at some point this weekend if there's a big trade, for example. If not, our next episode will be on Monday.
Yeah, and for that Monday episode, we're going to record it Sunday afternoon. Yeah. That way we can get it out first thing in the morning come Monday morning. That way we'll do a full recap, analysis of all the picks, everything they do, because we don't want to keep you waiting on that. You're obviously all sitting here hanging out with us, more than 120 of you, which is awesome. But
George LaRock out here trying to start more Crosby viewers. Yeah, I saw that. People, engagement bait. Don't engage. That's garbage. Ugh. Final guesses. Who's our first round picks? I went on Kelsey's show today. I'm probably going to go 0 for 2 here. I still am with the opinion that they're going to stick at 11 and 12. I could be dead wrong. I'll probably go 0 for 2 here. I'm going to say, from the team perspective, Roger McQueen, Kayshawn Aitchison. I think those will be the 2 picks. If it's up to me, I'd probably go Eklund because I love Eklund a lot. But I think if McQueen is there at 11, I think they're going to take the swing, and especially if their doctors clear them for the medicals.
Eklund would be, if they get Eklund, that's a dream come true.
Go up to the stage there if you get Eklund. I love him.
Do you guys think the Pens are going to tank to get Gavin McKenna? No, I'm not going to go on my whole anti-tanking spree again. I know that is become a meme among.
They won't be bad intentionally. I don't think they're going to be very good, but
yeah, I think
they'll be in the race to get them. I just don't think it's going to be intentional. Also, Pat, they're wondering what your prediction are for the picks.
My heart really tells me with one of the 2 picks, they are going to go with Aitchison because it feels like there has been. Brandon in the comments said
his suit tonight is gorgeous. By the way, I saw Brandon's comment. Everyone, go check out Kayshawn Aitchison's suit. As the kids like to say, that's aura. I guess is that how you say it? I guess I'm
aura. Yeah, we're old. Well, not you. I am, but yeah, it just does feel like there has been a really coordinated push to talk about Aitchison and how much they like him, and it also kind of feels like he fits right in that range. That's about where I'd probably put him in the rankings overall of all the skaters in the first round, like 11, 12. The thing is for the other pick, this is like Hunter said, this is where it's going to get interesting after the Sharks, because there's a clear 1 and 2, and then it's everybody else. Like it happens every year. Somebody is going to galaxy brain it. Somebody is going to try to outsmart everybody, pick someone, and you're going to go, whoa, they don't know about this guy. So we'll see what happens. But it definitely feels like if Aitchison's on the board come 11 or 12, they're going to take him. And old Hunter is muted.
There we go. That's terrible on my live stream. Well, the dog started barking, but I still think it's going to be forward defensemen. They'll go back to back. As I said in the episode today, if you go back to back defensemen, I saw Pronman's mock and he went back to back defense for the Penguins at 11 and 12. I'm like, no, I don't want that to happen. I'm good. I would rather go forward and then a defenseman, or defenseman and then a forward. They could troll everyone and take a defenseman first to put the fear of God into everyone if they have both picks, but and then go forward. But I think it's going to be some mix of that, I think.
Yeah.
Seattle could galaxy brain that, Blake. I agree. They're weird, man. Seattle's front office just makes no sense. They stock up on middle 6 forwards. I don't know what their plan is. Do they even have one? Honestly, they're weird.
I don't know what Seattle's doing. Like it just feels like you said, like they're just stacking up on middle 6 forwards. It feels like they want to build from the back end, but even then it's his
middle 6 meme. Yeah, I see that. Pat and I love Dan. He's a great follow on
Dan's so good.
He's fantastic. If you're not following Dan Hopper, you're doing a disservice. He's really good. But yeah, that is great.
OPS is maybe my favorite Substack outside of Faceoff Factor, of course, since we have the return of Jesse Marshall's Faceoff.
Jesse's live on Twitter too. Go show him some love. He had a great list. He's had 2 really good articles since then too. Give him a follow. We're hopefully going to have him on next week to break down this whole class.
Yeah, Adam, you can listen, it's 2025. Everybody has a podcast at this point. I think we've all siloed into our favorites. So you can plug another one.
Yes, Ron Francis is not good at management, though he's not the GM anymore. You know what? He got basically fired by promotion.
They
So
kicked
Jason
him
Botterill,
upstairs. They kicked him upstairs like
yes,
everybody does.
and Jason Botterill, we'll have to see what he does. Early returns, though, at least to start, kind of
I'm curious to see what Botterill does, because I look at Botterill as he's going to be one of two things. He's either a victim of Buffalo being Buffalo, which I think we all know what that is, or he's going to be a guy who we find out works best in a tandem. Because when he was in Pittsburgh as an AGM, whether it was with Shiro, whether it was with Rutherford, he was pretty fantastic. And sometimes people just mix that well together, whether it's as a team or as management. And we'll find out if he's as good as everyone makes him out to be, or if Buffalo was just being Buffalo and he couldn't get anything done.
Yeah. I got nothing really much to say about that. I know I 100% agree with you. Like, the Sabres, they're weird because, like, the Pagula family, I almost mispronounced that by accident. They're just going to keep hiring these people and firing them because they don't really know what they're doing with the Sabres. They spend a lot of money with the Bills and they pay Josh Allen all that money, but it just seems like they couldn't give less of a crap about the Sabres, and they have a great fan base. I feel really bad. One of my best friends is actually a Sabres fan. He was texting me about the Paterka deal. He's pretty low on it. And, like, at first I was like, yeah, this was really bad. Since then, like, I see what they're trying to do with Kesselring. I just don't think he's going to be a top pair guy. I think at best he's maybe a second pair guy. But
what I remember,
we'll have to see.
We were talking about this before the episode yesterday, before we hit record. If you were to take out the team names for that Paterka trade and just look at the assets involved, it's not a bad trade at all. I don't think Paterka's bad, but I don't think he's going to be a superstar. He's going to be a very useful, very productive NHL player. But because it's Buffalo, you're like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again.
And they're being cheap too. The Sabres, like, they still have a ton of cap space.
San Jose pick is in.
I'm curious to see if are they galaxy braiding this with Frondell, or are they going to take Misa?
Don't make Bailey make a bad pick. Don't you dare.
Do not galaxy brain this.
The new Sharks uniforms are just so awesome. They are so clean. I love them.
Shout out to JD on our network. He's in the draft. He's at the draft right now. He does a great
job. Good for him, man.
Yeah, he's great. I love JD. Turkish issues or drinking.
I
didn't see that at all.
I didn't see any of that either. I also don't like. I kind of hate rumors like that because it feels a little bit like you're trashing a guy on the way out. And I mean, if it is true, God, I hope he gets help. I hope he's healthy.
I mean, I will say they didn't even like I think in like the team statement, it was weird. Like they didn't even thank him. I'm like, it's kind of weird. It's like they just talked about the guys coming in. I'm like, you can thank JJ for everything he did.
Yeah, you can throw in the cliche one-liner of we appreciate JJ's time as a Sabre, and we wish him all the best in the future.
Yeah.
And the fact they couldn't do that, I mean, that's weird, but it is the Sabres. And God, again, I feel so bad for Sabres fans, man.
Yeah.
Like they deserve a good team. They deserve a great team. Like, and we kind of forget, like, right out of the lockout, man, they were one of the best teams.
It's a great market. I feel really bad for their fans because they still show up. And
the 04-05 lockout, I should specify, because you know the NHL loves lockouts. Well, not anymore, because as we talked about today, labor peace in our time.
Yeah. My dog is getting into something downstairs, and I don't even want to know what it is.
It's not your problem right now. We got a live stream to do.
All right, come on. Announce the pick already. We're going to be here for 3 hours at this rate.
Hey,
any of the comments here. Dorsch has the emotional IQ of a teaspoon. He could have been more. That the comment has me dying.
You were like breathe laughing on that one. Which one was it?
Kate, Darsh has the emotional IQ of a teaspoon. Come on, man. Buffalo's bad as Pittsburgh Pirates. Honestly, that's an interesting comp, like, because they keep trading away their good players. And they're cheap, like the Pirates.
NHL decided to implement mandatory AOL dial-up modems. Are they on 6.0 or 7.0? They get that free CD with 100 free hours.
They are making their pick according to.
Yeah, here comes Bailey. Bailey from the Bay, the role model.
Swear to God, don't do it.
It's not going to happen. Relax.
Let's go, Gary. Come on.
It's the future women's intercontinental champion right there, Bailey.
Here we go, people. He's about to start.
I love that Gary thinks he isn't going to get booed. I love that he leans into it now. It's just a meme.
Oh, there she is. Do they forfeit the pick? They got it in.
I think at this point the clock is mandatory, or not mandatory.
All right, here we go.
Michael Misa. Okay.
All right, they didn't galaxy brain it, so there was all that talk about Frondell, and I guess it was a little bit of a smokescreen. I expect Frondell to go here to Chicago, probably though, or something like that.
Yes, Mark. I am a massive dork. I do make wrestling references, so
yeah, he makes the wrestling references. I got my Lord of the Rings tattoo.
Lord of the Rings.
Everyone has seen my Star Wars book collection right there.
I mean, I can't really throw stones because right behind me is a book about the history of the United States compared to Red Dead Redemption 2. So
I'm reading Aftermath.
Oh man, Gary Bettman is no Roger Goodell. Do we need a parenthesis derogatory?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Goodell much either, but all right. So Chicago, Utah will be the one to watch. They've had a lot of talks about that pick. I think Brady Martin might go to Utah.
Brady Martin at 4 wouldn't shock me whatsoever.
I have him on my list. I just don't think he's going to be available at 11 or 12. What I think of the Dobson trade. I like that for Montreal. I think that's a really nice swing for them to take. Him and Lane Hudson are going to be a lot of fun together. I think if you put them on the same pairing, it's going to be all gas, no brakes. I don't think they're going to do that, though. I think they should separate them.
Yeah. Let's be real here. Montreal, next couple years, they are going to be a problem because they are doing it.
I think they will, but I like them going in next year. I think they'll be a playoff team again. But Hudson and Dobson will be fun together. Everyone I think knows it's funny. I know Nick is watching this right now because he was texting me this morning. I have the screenshot literally to prove it. And it was Isles are going to get 16 and 17 from Montreal, then trying to flip those to Boston for 7. Watch. It's going to be 16-17 Romanov to Boston for 7. I'm calling it now. So that's something to watch for. He got part 1 right. We see if he gets part 2 because they're trying to trade up for Higgins just for the hometown storyline and all that. So we'll have to see if they do that.
Yeah, I mean, CL, I'm right with you, man. What the Canadians are doing, like it's interesting because I think that kind of fits into what I was saying a while back about tanking and everything, how we're probably out of the era of traditional tanking where teams just completely tear it down. They didn't totally strip it down to the studs. They got rid of a lot, but they still kept a few things around and really emphasized getting younger players, getting draft picks, making savvy signings. I think with between the salary cap and the draft lottery and everything, it's going to be a lot harder to actually. Yeah, they got top 5 picks, but that was also part of it. That's part of the draft lottery luck is you can't do. It's not like it was back in the day when you can just finish last and get the first overall pick. So
yeah,
that chat cave is weird, man. Like
the what?
The chat cave that like they're sitting there like on a glorified Zoom call with the team that drafted them.
What is this? Interesting. I'm looking at the chat. Drink choice. I got some bourbon in here and I mixed some Coke in it because I like drinking bourbon straight up sometimes, but I wasn't feeling it tonight.
Okay. So Chris Roos, I've wanted to go off on this, and because we try to keep our episodes to 30 minutes, and since this is a live stream, we're just going through the
Pat
draft.
went off to me about Dangle and Adam the other day, so I'm gonna let him cook a little bit here.
Listen, I'm not trying to crap on him. I don't even dislike him. I pay for SDP VIP because I love their bonus episodes. That I have been listening to those guys at this point for probably 10 years. But to blame that game against Chicago, it's a massive butterfly effect. Like, let's not deny that. Like, when they lose to Chicago, that set off a chain reaction of events that changed the NHL for a lot of the NHL. But like, okay, we can also talk about what if the Flyers hold on to Bobrovsky? What if the Bruins don't choke that series away against Florida? And they also kind of skipped over the year prior. Florida won the President's Trophy. Like, this is a really good Florida team. Like, it wasn't just like the Penguins lost that game against Chicago, missed the playoffs, and it led to the start of the Florida dynasty. But like, it helped. It certainly didn't hurt them. But like, the thing that annoys me is, like, I said this to a coworker today. Shout out Garrett Bahana from Pennsburg. He's also my coworker at KDK TV.
Oh yeah.
He if you listen back to this, like, I'm not asking you to do this. If you do this,
I was also there, Chris, by the way. Yes, I was at that game against Chicago. I went with my lady, and it was, I think everyone knew what was going on after that.
But like, if you listen back to most of our episodes from this season, we did occasionally bring up a lot of the mistakes and missteps and everything that Ron Hextall did. But because it was year 2 of Kyle Dubas, the statute of limitation has run out on blaming.
I think I just moved on from Ron Hextall. Like, yeah, he stunk, but it is what it is, kind of.
And I also don't want it to come off as me saying, oh, Kyle Dubas is perfect, you can't criticize him. His first summer wasn't great, and then the first half of his first season wasn't much better. Like, but Jake Gensel trade on, he's done pretty darn good.
Yeah, the jury is still on, and if he can build this team up to a contender again, like, that's totally fair to say. I just go off on some of the weird criticism that comes out of Toronto people, because I think Leafs fans like to blame him for everything, and I just don't think that's valid. But they're still obsessed with him to this day. Like, we still get sometimes random comments from Leafs fans on the YouTube channel, or just regular about him, and I'm just like, I don't give a crap what you have to say. I don't think we can cuss on this, otherwise I would. But I just don't give a damn what you say.
Pick is in for Chicago. I think this might be Frondell. It should be Frondell. Like, at least
I wouldn't.
And Chicago's in a weird.
Someone tweeted, Pat, 2 picks in 20 minutes. Yeah, let's speed this up, guys. Come on.
Chicago is in a weird spot though, because you guys should do Dangle-esque reaction.
Oh God,
buddy, I don't have that kind of energy.
I don't have that Dangle laugh that he had, with the freaking Joker laugh that he had in that video. I can't laugh like that even if I tried.
I mean, if there ever was a man who should become the Joker, it's Steve Dangle. Goodness gracious, what that team has done to him.
It sounded like the Emperor cackle, like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. That's what he's going to turn into next. He's going to have an Emperor Palpatine cackle.
Oh, yes. Patrick Hornquist was a big part of that Florida Cup
run. I was happy seeing him on the ice when they won it this year, man. That was cool.
I reference him on the pod all the time. Jeff Merrick. Yeah. He brings this up all the time. The literal first move of Zito when he took over was to get Patrick Hornquist. Like, that completely changed Florida's culture for the better. So that kind of tells you where they were going.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeremy Roenick. Haven't heard from him in a while.
Oh, really? He's there. Oh, he's there tonight?
He's announcing the Blackhawks pick.
Shit. Yeah, you're right. Jeez. Let's see. Yeah. Is this Frondell? I forgot Jeremy Roenick is still a thing. Yeah.
Most people did.
I did not care for his analysis on NHL and NBC.
I think it's more I was disappointed. I expected so much better. Like I thought he would be a lot more. I thought he would be a lot more kind of not a one-to-one comparison, but I thought it'd be kind of like Pete. Yep, Frondell it is.
Yep.
But I thought he would be a lot more, again, not one-to-one, but I thought it would be a lot more like PK, where it would be a lot more personality. He'd be a little funnier. And like so many, it was just typical old school hockey guy. Like, I'm not saying you got to be a clown. I'm not saying you got to make yourself into a meme, but a little personality, a little bit of fun. Like, it's why I think TNT is good. Like, I don't think it's what it should be yet. I think, but you can see they're building something, right? Like, it's
fine. Like, Liam McHugh is really good. I think Wayne Gretzky has the charisma of an Amazon package. Like, he just looks like he doesn't want to be there. It looks like he wants to go to bed at like 9:30. Like, okay, man. Like,
so yeah, personality of an Amazon.
Like, that's what it is. Like, I hate being like, I love Wayne's one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player to ever play the game. I still say Mario.
That was fantastic.
But like, I just like, okay. But yeah, Anton Frondell, number 3. I still think Eklund is better. I think Frondell is going to be a really good NHLer. I put Eklund higher than him on my overall board, but still, that had been the rumor that he was going to go top 2, top 3. So,
and since it's,
now it gets fun because it's wide open now.
And since it's Jeremy Roenick who announced the pick, Hunter, again, you are right in your analysis.
That's insulting.
Oh, man.
And like, even for ESPN, like, the panel for ESPN is not good. Like,
no,
I think Mark Messier doesn't really say anything that I usually care for. PK Subban, I think he tries too hard to be like Stephen A. Smith with his hot takes, and it just doesn't come across as funny or genuine. And then I know, I hear you, Teddy, but Steve Levy tries his best. I actually really like him. Sean McDonough, I think, has gotten a lot better as a play-by-play person. Some people may not like that take. That's okay. I think he's gotten a lot better. He was really good for college football in the NFL. He was obviously very new to hockey, but I think he's getting better. But, that's the way I see it. I still think Ray Ferraro is awesome, but I'll be curious what they do with the rights after this deal. Go ahead.
I said Ray Ferraro is maybe the best in the business. He's so good.
Yeah. Would the Penguins ever look to get Jaeger back from the Jets? Probably not.
And I like Jaeger. I think you upgraded with McGroarty. Like, it feels like McGroarty was the upgrade, but I don't think it was so much of an upgrade. You know what I mean? Like, Doc Emmerich was the GOAT, but we need to let that man rest. That man has been doing hockey since the 80s.
The best. Yeah. Some great memories, man. He was fantastic.
Let that man be disappointed by Pirates baseball like the rest of us and let him relax.
Oh, I hope he's still watching those games.
You know he does. He absolutely does.
I would love every time he'd call a Penguin game, he'd sneak in 1 or 2 Pirate references. He'd have to do it.
Also, I don't know if they're watching or not. I hope they are, but got to give a shout out. I've worn it on the show before. This was a Christmas present I got from my best friend DJ a few years back, because he has 2 sons, and when they were born, I got them custom Penguins jerseys with their last name on it, with 17 for the year his first was born, and then 19 for when his second was born. So the back of this is my high school hockey number 20, and the nameplate is Uncle Pat. So shout out to those guys for this. It's one of my most, because somebody asked us really early in the chat if we have any cool like autographed stuff. The only thing I really have is a signed Pascal Dupuis hockey card, and I got it because I drove him from Pittsburgh Airport to West Banco Arena for the Nailers when he was our guest. So that's about it. But this is like my favorite piece of Penguins gear, merch, whatever you want to call it, because it's such a cool thing. And I'm excited. I'm hoping this season all 4 of us go to a game and we can go in our little matching uniforms there.
That'd be sick. That's awesome, dude. Does Jaeger have a higher ceiling? No, I don't think so.
But I think
McGroarty, even at the trade, I said the trade at the time, I think McGroarty is the better player. He was closer to playing, and I will still stand by that. I think he's going to play the full season up here. He looked like a completely different player at the end of the season compared to what we saw at the beginning, and I'm excited to see what he does in a full season. I think he's going to start with Sid.
Oh, Kate, that is one of my favorite hockey internet things.
Oh yeah.
Where they interviewed Kyle Davidson and had no idea who he was.
Yeah, that's right. I know. Any chance Jari gets moved, I pray and hope. Hey, always a chance, but probably not that high. I saw this weird thing on Twitter last night. I hope no one really believed it. Some weird account was tweeting some Darnell Nurse for Tristan Jari thing was being discussed. No, that was debunked. So I hope no one really actually read into that.
I mean, and that, like, there is a world and there is a very obvious possibility, because we've seen it happen a bunch already, that the Penguins will take on bad contracts, but if you can't go garbage in, garbage out. Like, if you're gonna do that, you got to bring somebody else back. Stan Bowman is employed, so that is a fair point.
Yeah.
Stan Bowman very much on the list of find the bad general managers, call them every day list.
Yeah, he's not very good. But you can throw Barry Trotz in there. I don't think he knows what he's doing that much. Seattle's front office is not very good. Pat Verbeek is very mixed to me, but I kind of lean towards the fact that he's mid, as the kids like to say. He gets pants by Chris Drury, and then that Trevor Zegras trade, say what you will about Zegras, and I know his value wasn't that high, but I feel like he could have gotten at least a little bit more back from him.
Yeah, I don't think, it's weird because I don't think the Zegras trade was terrible, because we also have to remember Zegras' value wasn't that high. Like, he went from having a really good first year and a half, and he kind of fell off. So this is, for the Flyers, this is a bit of a reclamation project for them.
Kind of.
Not full reclamation, but you have to hope he recaptures that early form. Here we go. Utah's pick is in.
Got that tweet. Would I trade Graves for Kotkaniemi? I would trade him for future considerations. I'm just not, in all seriousness, Brandon, yes, I would probably make that trade. I just had to mess with you a little bit. What do they need position-wise?
Everything
really. Outside of, I know we had a question about goalies. They're not going to go goalie that high, and I don't even know if they're going to take one in this draft, maybe a bit later, but they have a lot of goaltending depth. So I would probably say everything outside of that right now, I think that's mostly set in stone because they believe in Murashov. But yeah, everything outside of that.
Yeah, it's been so funny.
Go ahead.
It's been so funny throughout the history of the Crosby-Malkin era that the Penguins have consistently, I mean, regardless of how Jari and Murray turned out, but they've just consistently been a goaltending factory, somehow.
All right. Announce it already.
Okay. I gotta hit him with the Chappelle Show wrap it up button. Just
Eric, yeah, my hopes and dreams are gone. Hey, Pat likes Zegras too, so don't forget about that. Disappointed in the lack of booing. Are they taking? Is this guy right? Wow, they took Dewane number 4.
This is where we said it's gonna get fun.
I mean, I knew he was going to go top 7. Again, that's why I didn't even include him as a realistic option for the Penguins, because I knew he was going to go way too early. Wow.
Sorry, my fan turned off randomly. It's this room is a sweat box.
Interesting. I thought they were going to think about Brady Martin there.
Okay. Well, all right. Business is picking up, as they say.
Wasn't Martone. Okay, so 5. Now it gets fun with Nashville.
Come on, Nashville, do it.
Nashville can go in a whole bunch of different directions.
Mormons have entered the galaxy. Yeah, Frankie, that's a good point about Zegras and Crosby.
Yeah.
I think it's very hockey that anytime somebody has a personality, that he gets painted as oh, he's got attitude problems. Nah, I don't. But I do think there might be a little bit there. But it's the thing. I think I've said it on the show before. Is if there's ever a place for a player with attitude problems who is young to get better, you're playing under Sidney Crosby. And if the best in the world, not CM Punk, Sidney Crosby, is going to is going to show you like, oh, this guy's great and been great forever. And he still works like, as Colby Armstrong says, there's a league above the NHL he's trying to make.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see any comments here. Martone Dream Alive. Yes, for now it is. Odds the Penguins fleece Nashville for number 5. Well, that's the team that Pat circled when we've been doing our episodes. I've gone a little bit lower towards closer to the end of the top 10, but Pat circled Nashville a little bit.
Again, I don't have any inside sources, but I just kind of looked at it logically. Like Chicago obviously already made their pick, so that didn't happen. But like Nashville, like Chicago needs to take a step, and I guess they decided getting the 3rd overall is going to be good. And Nashville's a team where they weren't supposed to be bad, so you could maybe talk them into, hey, you want to be good? We got some guys. Give us that 5th overall. But
yeah,
we'll see. They're on the clock.
Yep, Nashville time, then Philly. Philly, I think, will take one of, if they're there, one of Martone or Hagen's potentially. Though I have to see if he slides to 7 because the Islanders are going to try to come calling. 12 and 2 seconds for Nashville's pick. Yeah. Again, I'm only trading one of those picks to move up. I do not think trading both picks to take one player makes sense. I think you have to take 2 players no matter what. But so far, this is pretty, like, this is the run. The big center run is coming here. Like,
we kind of expected the big center run too. So
have to see if any one of these teams takes Rademirka at the end. I think Anaheim makes sense for him. I could see Buffalo potentially doing it. The draft cave is creepy. It is a little weird. Why does it look like they're in an interrogation room? Do you see this? It looks like they're like it's an interrogation.
I want answers, punk.
Literally, it's just like, yeah, it just looks awkward.
The draft cave feels like COVID back. Don't say that. Do not tempt the universe.
What do I think for the goalie tandem? Like, as of right now, I think they might just, this is just right now, though. We still haven't hit free agency. I think as of right now, it might be the same 2 guys they run back, though they may try to get out of one of them and put Blomqvist up there. It sucks that the new CBA is not an agreement for this season because they could carry 3 goalies, but that's not happening yet. All the time, at least they can carry them, but you don't usually see a lot of teams carry 3 goalies even during the season without the new CBA. So
Brandon's comment, this is always funny to me, is I would feel so bad for O'Brien if he goes to Philly since he was such a huge Penguins fan. That was like when I was working in the ECHL and the AHL, like I always had people here in Pittsburgh ask me like, oh, if the Flyers called you and offered you a job, would you take it? Absolutely, I would.
Yeah.
Like, a job in the NHL, getting drafted by an NHL. I'm never going to get drafted because, you know, as my pops always used to say, NHL ain't looking for 5'0" centers with no hands, but I digress. Like, yeah, man, the NHL comes calling. Absolutely, I'm going to take it. Doesn't mean I'm going to suddenly become a fan. Like, but the NHL comes calling. Hell yeah.
It would be funny though if he burned them like Cutter Gauthier did. That's always good. Someone says I hate this format, not a new fan. Yeah, it's weird. I hope they go back to doing what they were doing for a long time. It's so much better. Like we're almost an hour in. We are on pick 5. Nashville's on the clock. Speed it up. Let's go. I'm gonna be here till like midnight at this rate.
Yeah, like Jordan, you get it. Like obviously the Nailers are a Penguins affiliate, so it was cool to be in the organization. But then Utica at the time was Vancouver's AHL team, so like I had to get pretty familiarized with the Vancouver organization, especially at the AHL level, because a bunch of guys coming up and down. But yeah, I mean, it's just funny because like people say it all the time. There's only so many jobs, whether you're a player, coach, manager, like my boy Jordan. I was a ticket rep for Wheeling, man. That work is something. Like I remember, I'll tell this story. Before I left Wheeling, because in Wheeling I was both a ticket rep and I did the digital media for the team. my boss, who was the head of the sales department, was like, man, you sure you want to do this? Like, you're pretty good at this. And I was like, man, I'm good at a lot of things. Doesn't mean I enjoy them. Like, I can see my sales numbers. I know I'm pretty good at this, but like, I want to be in media. I want to be on the digital team and all that stuff. So like, I appreciate the opportunity. I've enjoyed the experience, but I got a chance to be a full-time digital person in the AHL. So
Hey,
jumped at it.
yeah, there you go.
Picks in for Nashville. Let's see who they go with.
Adam Georgia. Remember when I said it might be live for an hour 15 minutes? Yeah, I did. I didn't think it'd be this damn slow.
I'm genuinely surprised it's taken this long.
This is all right. Come on, Nashville. Let's just make the pick here. Interesting.
Can we get a damn trade or two?
Literally.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
When do I foresee them being competitive for a championship again? A lot of people are going to like this, Chris. No, I don't think it's going to be in the Big Three era. No, I think there will have been competing for a championship like on a consistent basis. No, I don't think it's going to be during that time. I think it's going to be a little bit later. Not all rebuilds are made the same. And I'll say this, I think tearing it down to the studs in today's salary cap world, I just don't think it's the way to go. I think it takes too long. And I think it takes also, a lot to get out of because you dig yourself such a big hole. That's why you're seeing a lot of these teams try to do it a little bit quicker. So, I think, 5 years in terms of competing consistently for championships is probably a good starting point.
Brady
if
Martin.
you get lucky with the lottery, maybe a little bit earlier. But again, like you just gotta do it right. There's something special about seeing a rebuild be so cool. Is it Brady Martin?
Brady Martin to the Predators.
Yeah. Great player, man.
The other thing to kind of go off what you were saying, wow, wait, is this this is just a pre-filmed package. I was like, are they really showing them live at the farm?
Yes, unless you're Buffalo, Eric, or Detroit. Look at Detroit right now. They still can't even get over.
To kind of go off what you were saying too, and I know it's a bit different. What's Gary doing here? Oh, I guess he's there. Okay, that was odd. But to kind of go off what you were saying, I think the other thing is a lot of luck and a lot of things change when you go for a championship. I mean, at the end of the 2015 season, did any of us think the Penguins were even remotely close to sniffing a Stanley Cup again? Probably not.
Yeah. Anytime they still had those three in their prime, so like you had a shot, but that roster still needed a lot of work.
Yeah, and they were able to make it work. So,
yeah. But again, like you need stuff to go right. Like you need the high end talent. Like that's the biggest thing. Like you don't have that, you're not going to compete consistently for cups. All that matters is that you get it by any means necessary. Obviously the easiest way is to get it at the top of the draft. Obviously Gavin McKenna next year. And by the way, if he commits to Penn State, I am planning to go out there to watch him at least a few times during the season because, only a couple hours, 2.5, 3 hours away from Pittsburgh. I would love to go see him play there. Again, that's the easiest way to get it. But, there's, other teams have been able to get their high end talent in some other different ways, but still the easiest way, of course, is to, get at the top of the draft. And the next year's draft is going to be a lot deeper than this one, even outside of McKenna. So, but yeah, Brady Martin, love that pick for Nashville. He's awesome.
That's a real good pick.
I loved watching his tape this year. He had a big jump from last year. He was great at the U18s for Canada. Once he had that big postseason success, he was climbing up draft boards. There was no chance he was going to get to 11.
Saw someone say Shea Weber 100% forgot he was supposed to do a thing today.
That's Hall of Famer Shea Weber to you now.
Let's talk about that real quick while we wait here because apparently
Alex McGillney, baby, it's about damn time that man got in.
But listen, I like Shea Weber, one of the best modern era defensemen. First ballot.
I think it's because of the Olympics. Like the international success. I think that's why it had a lot of weight. Like, I know he never won the Norris, but he was still very consistently one of the best in the league. But hey, if anything, though, this is good stuff for Chris, for Chris Letang, I think, especially for his career, 3 Stanley Cups. He never won a Norris either. So,
if that's the bar, yes, Garrett, put Gaunch in the Hall of Fame for the love of
and Ryan
God.
is right. In his prime, Shea Weber was awesome. I will 100%.
Yeah, like I'm not saying he stunk. I'm not saying he's terrible, but like I just never had him pegged as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
What is this? That's funny. Yes, Jeff. Chirp.
Flyers pick is in. Well, I may hate them, but I appreciate how quick they're being about it.
Well, at least they were I think they were actually the quickest team tonight. Which is interesting because all these other teams are taking like 10 minutes.
Is Brind'Amour not in the Hall of Fame?
No, he's not.
Really?
No, he's not. Like Gonchar's not in it either. He should be in. Some people were mad that Carey Price did not get in this year, but like I think he can wait a little bit. I love Carey Price. I love watching his prime, but like, I think he
what
can wait
in the goodness gracious are these glasses, Barkley?
Chuck, yep. Chuck's the GOAT, man. One of the 5 funniest human beings on the planet.
Oh, I say this all the time to one of my old hockey teammates because it's our favorite inside the NBA moment. I'll just look at him and go, Galveston.
Yes, that is a great. There are so many. Him and Shaq are just so good together.
With that dirty water.
Yes. That the whole Chris Paul thing when like they're like calling, it's like the clip where like calling the police or something like that. Like they were just dying about it. It's great.
It's just,
is Paul Skeens going to get traded before Kyle makes the trade? Jeff, I love you, man. That's good.
Porter Martone.
They took him.
Flyers.
That really sucks.
Brutal.
Now Boston's the one to watch coming up here if the Islanders are looking to take Higgins. Oh man, that stinks. That sucks.
You do hate to see it. You do simply hate to see it. Yager will get in the Hall after he retires because he is still an active player. Like people kind of forget that. Like he can't go in because he's still playing. Like he is not retired. I will say though, I've said it on the show, is that if there was ever a player to waive the waiting period for, it is 68. Like the minute he says he's done, it should be 5 minutes before the Hall of Fame committee calls him and says, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
When Crosby retires, does the NHL waive the wait time? I want to say yes, just because we're reckless homers, but
probably not though.
No.
Will be fun though. Like he should get in right when he calls it a career. Say the same but
Aaron asks, are you guys also bummed that management hasn't taken full advantage of Crosby and Malkin every year they've been here? They have. Sometimes the efforts have been completely misguided, but they've tried. Like
at the end of the day, 3 cups is 3 cups. I'll never
that too.
Complain. They had chances for other ones, like 2012. Fleury just absolutely pisses his pants in the playoffs. You have 13 where Tuukka Rask goes 980. Patrice Bergeron absolutely takes Crosby and Malkin's lunch that entire series. That's still like the one. That's the one series. That's one of the series I want back. Like I wish they could have beaten prime Bergeron in his prime, honestly.
And I mean, let's be real here. Dan Bilesman got circles coached around him in 2013.
They couldn't adjust. They could not adjust to what Claude Julien and them were doing. They were shutting both lines down. And, when you have that and when you have Tuukka Rask just going 980, there's just not much you can do.
And but yeah, I mean, let's be honest. They won 3 Stanley Cups, and for the majority of their career, they spent to the cap. They traded away futures. They traded away draft picks, and they won 3 Stanley Cups. So yes, Ryan, Hextall and Burke did do a lot of damage, and it's because they really didn't have a plan. Like they did not hang out with Dutch Vanderlyn. They did not have a plan. So, at the end of the day, because I remember saying this at the time, if they were gonna tank, then do it. But if you weren't, you can't half tank. It's just not gonna work. You either go for it or you don't. And you look at what the Penguins are doing now, it's a version of tanking. They're trading anything that's not a big name or not nailed down, and they're going young. That's how you do it now.
Mm-hmm. No, again, you're not seeing a lot of the full teardown rebuilds in the cap era. Again, it just takes too long, too hard to get out of. That's why a lot of these teams are trying to do it quicker. I'm not saying it has to be like Washington. I think that's more of a retool, but
also doesn't hurt that Washington got to put $15 million
yes,
on
that
LTIR.
People gloss over that. Yes, Oshie, his career was done. Backstrom's career was done.
Although apparently Kuznetsov's reportedly making a comeback.
I don't know where he's going to play.
Oh, Porter Martone going to Philly. That guy's going to be a pain in our ass for a while, buddy.
Yeah. Now Boston, I wonder if this here is Higgins, especially because I've been watching this for the Islanders. So I don't know if the Islanders are going to do enough to get him, which is interesting here. I thought they were going to really flip these to the hometown kid, but I don't know.
Yeah, Scare, I'd say at this point, now that we've gotten to 7, the Penguins aren't going to trade up. Just now
unless it's for Buffalo, probably not.
If you see a move with Buffalo, it's going to be.
Do I think Bennett is worth $64 million 8 times 8? Playoff success, yeah, but regular season wise, probably not. But you know what you're going to get from him.
I mean, two things on that. One, you're not paying him for the regular season. You're paying him for the playoffs. And 2, banners hang forever, man. You win 1 or 2 more in that 8-year window, ain't nobody gonna care that you're paying him for a couple more years.
Yep. I mean, they're also going to try to keep Marchand, but I kind of want to see Marchand do the revenge factor, or the rival factor, I should say, in Toronto, where he signs there and plays against Boston.
If there was ever a guy to go in and change that culture,
oh yeah, 100%. Thoughts on the Dobson sign and trade today? Yeah, I like it a lot for the Canadians. I think it's a really nice swing that they took. Him and Lane Hudson on the same blue line is going to be a lot of fun. I actually think their blue line is pretty deep now. If they can go out and get another forward or 2, that team is going to be pretty good heading into next season. I like the direction that they have. And yeah, I'm not sure we're going to get a trade up right now. One of my best friends, Jeff, is in here. Is the slab for Musgrove worth $14 every single time? Asking for someone. Yeah, I know. Jeff saw that Darnell Nurse for Tristan Jarry little report last night that I debunked already on the stream. The slab is always worth $14, my man. And if anyone is up towards the, that area near Ohio and doesn't go to Muscarella's, you should. Muscarella's is fantastic. It's right near Ohio, and it's best Italian food around. I'll shout them out here on live stream.
Well, to this question, that if we're going to keep talking about food, Chipotle line, should you get double chicken? I mean, if you're getting a bowl, absolutely. If you're getting a burrito, no, man, that's just going to be a mess.
Also, Chipotle is not good anymore.
No, it does kind of stink now. Picks in for the Bruins. Let's see who they go with. They going to Galaxy brain it?
Probably not. I think this might be Higgins. Unless they go McQueen or something like that, or one of the other one of the defensemen that they could take. Yeah, they're not trading it to the Islanders. So if you're watching, you got part 1 right. You didn't get part 2 right.
Philly will ruin Martone. Is Happy Gilmore going to make the Bruins? Yeah, he is.
Oh, that's amazing. And yeah, he's gone. Yeah, it's Hagens to Boston.
That makes sense.
I haven't already, but I guess my TV is really ahead. My streams are pretty ahead, but yeah, Hagens. So yep, those two are gone at this rate. I mean, is it worth it even trading up for O'Brien? I mean, O'Brien's getting close to 11, which would be awesome. Eklund's getting close. McQueen. I think one of those three is 100% going to be available to the Penguins. All of the defensemen, at least right now, are going to be available. With the way the board is going right now, they're going to walk out of here, I think, with two really good players, assuming they don't trade on the top 10. And I think right now it's looking like a little unlikely. See, I get what Aaron is saying about this. I don't think he's okay with it, but I think we talked about this a little bit. He signed up for like these last few years when he signed that extension. Like if he really wanted to, he'd be like, yep, nope. You know what? I don't want to do this. Send me to a contender and we're just going to do that. He said, no, I want to stay here. I want to finish my career here. And he decided to make that choice. Is he pissed off about the way this is going? I'm sure he is. I'm sure he wants to be in the playoffs every year because that's just how he is. He's the most competitive person around in hockey. But I'm sure he and Kyle Dubas had a talk about this, saying like, hey, it's going to take a little bit of time and it's the way it's going.
And loyalty or not, I mean, he didn't have to sign the extension if he didn't want to. And he did. So clearly either Dubas did a good job selling him on the plan or Crosby was like, nope, I am going to be a one helmet guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going anywhere else. But, you know,
trading up to 9th would be worth it depending on what the deal is. Yes. Depending on the deal, maybe, but I think it's looking more unlikely right now. But O'Brien is looking like a pretty good possibility right now. Like we'll have to see what happens these next few picks, but again, the board is actually looking really nice right now for the Penguins. Even though they're not getting Martone or Hagens, I think they're going to get two fairly good players here.
Yeah,
Ryan's out there, Eklund is out there, all three defensemen are right there, Roger McQueen, and that was my prediction. Like I think if McQueen gets to 11, which is a very good possibility now, I think they may just say the hell with it. Like, yeah, we're good with the medicals, and we're going to take him.
James, please step into the interrogation cave so you can talk to Boston. You know, we talked about it on Fan Take Friday, Hunter. You know who should announce the Penguins picks? The Clarks.
Who?
The Clarks.
Oh, God. I've had enough of, they'll be at the 2026 NFL draft. That's for sure.
Of course they will.
You see who's announcing the pick tonight?
Who is it?
Take one guess. Chris Letang and his kid.
Oh, is it?
Chris and Alex. Yeah, they're going to announce the pick.
Mark Madden. Sure.
I love Jeff, man. He's been one of my best friends for a long time.
See, Aaron, I get what you're saying about re-signing Gensel, but I don't know. Like he felt like he was going to be the next captain of the Penguins, but given what they want to do, it was the best idea to move him away and get as much as you can.
They just weren't close on the contract either.
That's the other problem.
They weren't even close.
Donnie Iris. Yes, Donnie Iris should announce the pick. Get Donnie out there.
Also, yeah, Brandon's right. Gensel was a rental. So
Aaron Rodgers should be announcing the picks.
Oh my God. he takes forever. So he did right. That's good. Yeah, like the cave is so freaking.
But the to finish the thought on Gensel too is if you were going to keep him, essentially you would have to take these next 2 years and just go for it. And they didn't and don't have enough both cap space and in the cupboard to put themselves over the top. So
I think they rightfully pivoted. Like they saw the season wasn't going where it needed to go, and they pivoted. Like, look, like Aaron, like I love Jake Ensel, man. I think he is a tremendous player. He did a lot of good things here, but I think the pivot at the time was the right time to do it. And, they got what value back that they could. I would have loved to get a Jackson Blake or a Scott Morrow, but I don't think Carolina, was going to do that. You see how good Morrow and Blake already are. I think they're going to continue to get better. Sucks about the Ponamere situation, but, I'm high on Koivunen, and I'm excited to see what he can do also in a top 6 role heading into next season. I think he and Malkin are going to have a lot of fun together on that second line, if that's how it starts.
Yeah, and we've talked about it on the show. Everybody's written about it. McGroarty and Koivunen, end of the season, were not out of place whatsoever.
They're ready. I need to take the draft off so I can play a drinking game. Saw someone dozing off. Phil Kessel should announce the pick. You know what? That would be fun. I would be down for that.
Hey guys, Penguins 11th overall are excited to
have a hot dog in his hand.
Picks in for Seattle. Let's see who they go with.
And
also, shout out to the more than 200 of you hanging out with us. You absolute sickos. Yes. We appreciate it so much that you guys hang out with us, and it'll be opening night when we pick. Yeah, at this rate, holy crap.
Pete Blackburn. Did the Bruins make a good first-round draft pick simply because their internet cut out and they were on auto draft? Pete's great, man. He's so funny.
Yeah, at this point, I'm like, can I get this thing out here and just hit auto draft? Have Pierre ask Phil about his breath. How's your breath? Not good, eh?
I'm just talking about your conditioning. Like, Pierre, shut up. I wonder if this next one is a defenseman. Or it's O'Brien. The fact that O'Brien has lasted this long is I'm a little surprised. I can't lie.
Yeah, this is
any chance they take 2 forwards? Yes. I think there's a chance they do that. I think it's either that or they take a forward and a defenseman.
Oh, okay. Who's doing the pick for Seattle? Oh, it's in person.
Controller here with all my paddles.
All right.
We're on PC. Right. Shout out to Jeff and Matt, who I know were commenting funny stuff, shenanigans on here. They are the ones that got me into this. But Jeff a lot, but I love my beautiful Xbox Elite controller.
Mickey, the Penguins are picks 11 and 12, so we're just a couple away. We are getting close.
Yes. Let's see.
Jake O'Brien.
Oh, damn.
That one.
I wanted him the last. Damn. That's again, now there's still going to be good options at 11 and 12. They're a lot of the top players on my, board are still very much there. 9 and 10. Now let's see what happens here.
You got 2 picks to go here.
Yep. You got Buffalo and Anaheim. Anaheim, I could see for McQueen. I could see one of these 2 teams going Rademirka. It's going to be interesting.
Eklund still on the board.
Yep, Eklund is still there. At this point, I think he will be there at 11.
It kind of feels like and I don't want to curse it, but yeah, Blake, I'm right with you. It's no one has made a galaxy brain pick yet. Like these have all been pretty much right in line.
I don't think Wes Clark is going to, knock on wood. Famous last word.
Yeah. Now that we said that, watch, the Penguins are going to do something phenomenally stupid.
But yeah, I think at this rate, probably not going to see a trade up. It's just not. There's honestly at this rate, there's really no need to trade up.
Well, I mean, now that we're at 8,
well, even with the trade, the rumor was with Buffalo, but even at 9, I don't know who are you trading up to get Eklund, McQueen? I'm just texting my buddy back.
So that is the Kraken's co-owner that made the pick?
I did not know that. Yeah, Eklund and McQueen is a very good haul. if that's what it is, in my opinion. If they're both there, I could easily see them doing that. I've said it about McQueen again, man.
Into the draft cave with ye.
I know. If McQueen's medicals are good, I think they're going to pull the trigger if he's there. Oldest NHL video game I play. That's a good question. NHL 06, best one out there. Yeah.
Are you saying that's the best or the oldest one you've played?
The best one by far.
Best
Sorry.
one.
What's the oldest one you've played?
I think it was called NHL PA Hockey. So it was like NHL 93 or 92 on Sega. And then there was obviously NHL 94, the GOAT.
Yeah,
the absolute GOAT.
I wasn't alive for that.
I do still play Chell, but it's all offline and occasionally Ultimate Team. During COVID, man, me and some of my buddies, we played EASHL and managed to get ourselves up to Div 1, which was nuts. But we had a lot of time on our hands for obvious reasons.
I used to love the NHL online versus play, like even in like when I was in
Shut up, Garrett.
NHL like NHL like 12 like beyond, but they wouldn't fix the problems in the game. It was so annoying. And like every player would just do the same thing for the goal. Oh, cross ice pass for a one-timer. It's like, okay, whatever. It was fun though. Those games were fun.
It's time to see if the Sabres are gonna saber.
Yeah,
Eric, you're right. NHL really is. It's copy paste. Like my perfect world would be to make NHL like one of Hunter's favorite games. You're still a Fortnite guy, right?
Yeah. Play last night.
Make it like Fortnite. Like you release one like every 2 to 3 years, and like, but for those 2 to 3 years, you have updates, you have seasons, you have new features. Like you don't need to roll out a $70 roster update every year, man.
I got so old of it because they would never like fix the issues with the game. There were so many inconsistencies for like goals, like even like when I was playing online, like the reviews and stuff, it was just like, okay, I'm playing the same game. Like make some changes to it. Ugh.
And we know
online
that,
shots though.
And if you play Chell, you know this. This here's the penalty button.
Yes, Garrett. OG is out. I love playing OG Fortnite. Best map of all time. I can't play the Chapter 6 nonsense. It's just not.
See, I gotta get back to, because I just haven't had time lately. Hopefully, I will here in the next few weeks. The new Doom game, Dark Ages.
Jeff, that is a great point. They are not good at fixing issues either, because you know we like to joke. Jeff, I like to joke that the CEO is like 5 years old and doesn't know how to fix anything. Yeah, put the comment in there.
Andrew, dead on, man. Like, in the exclusivity has made things so bad because NHL 2K games were so good.
I didn't play as many of those. Should have. If you ever played like Left 4 Dead 2, oh my god,
dude, I played that all the time in college. That was
my best friend Jeff's in the comments right now. He got me into that. It is so fun, especially to troll people, and the dogs are going nuts. So I'm gonna mute my mic.
Yeah, I think like one of the better, most recent NHLs was NHL 19. That was like one of the last best good ones. Like that one was really good. Yes, Kate, you're dead on. Emily Kaplan is the GOAT. She might be one of, if not my favorite NHL reporter. It's her, it's Jackie Redmond, also WWE reference, Jackie Redmond, the Monday Night Raw reporter. But yeah, Emily Kaplan's great. Like just does such a good job with all of this. All right, here we go. Picks in for Buffalo. Braun Breaker at Hunter's house confirmed.
Every time she sees something coming down the street, she's still barking at it. It's probably a damn bunny.
Braun Breaker gonna spear Hunter through his chair.
No, it's Chris Letang. Oh, Nick, we got Nick. I called you Nick by example, but Pat, sorry about that. I called you Nick by mistake. We're doing this live, of course. Pat, you have a question about Roman coming back.
That is my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Pick is in. Let's see if Buffaloes. Oh, that's right. The Goo Goo Dolls are announcing their pick. I found out today because one of my coworkers is a big Buffalo guy. Apparently, the Goo Goo Dolls are massive in Buffalo. Like, just like huge there. Who are they going to slide?
Oh, they went Radamerka. Okay.
Radamerka. All right.
Okay, so now you have a guarantee of at least one of Eklund or McQueen being there at 11. That is big. Now this is going to... The Ducks are such a wild card. They could do so many different things here. Hi, Ted.
Yeah, the Ducks they're in a somewhat similar position to the Penguins where like they really could just go BPA, but they also could Galaxy brain it because they need a lot. I didn't notice Hunter was muted because he's got the pups.
Teddy is just really panting into the mic for some German Shepherd reason, I guess, but that's just how she is. But yeah, no, this board has broken really, really good. One of Eklund or McQueen are right there. Yeah, Kyle said it. Yeah, either one of them is going to be right there. I would take one of those two. You might have the option of taking both. That's fine with me. One of the other two defensemen, Jackson Smith, Kayshawn Aitchison. I think Kayshawn Aitchison is a bit better than Jackson Smith. That's how I see it.
Blake, that's a good point, man. Like Buffalo just picking nothing but defensemen. Like, yeah, I think they've got quite a few, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Shout out to Eddie just doing Goo Goo Dolls lyrics in the chat. Oh, if the Ducks get Eklund, I'm going to be so annoyed.
Do I have a GS? What?
Gamecast?
I don't know. Do the Ducks finally trade Gibson? We'll see. They should. Lucas Dostal is a better goalie right now.
Listen, John Gibson trades are shout out to our cohort on Locked On Steelers, Chris Carter. John Gibson trade, and the next day, and the next day. And the next day.
Yes, that is what it is.
And the next day.
Yes, Mickey, I have a German Shepherd. One of my pride and joys, the only German Shepherd I will ever have in the lab. Thrawn is downstairs doing God knows what, probably getting into stuff.
Dolls cemented their leg. Okay. All right. That's good to know.
Gibson to Edmonton for Pickard and picks. Yeah. You know, Edmonton needs another goalie. I could see them being in on Gibson. They're going to have Donnie Iris. I love all the Donnie Iris little things that we have here.
Oh, the draft cave opens and closes. Oh, that's even weirder, man.
Now, is she protective? She's very friendly. She barks at all the dogs coming down the street, but she's a very friendly dog.
Carbonell is off like Hey, it's not a Pirates wild card game, something we're not going to see for another 25 years. So don't do that. Jari for an 8.5 graded Charizard. Is it a holographic Charizard?
All right, Ted. One more pick until the Penguins are up for back-to-back picks. We'll analyze those two picks, and then we're probably going to call it and probably upload some audio for the audio only listeners. But wow, we're at almost 300 people right now. Yins rock. You guys are the best.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Like we didn't know how this was going to go when we planned it this week, and it's gone off a lot better than we could have expected. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, watching the draft.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now that we've successfully BS'd about everything pretty much but hockey, I think you're right, Hunter. This draft board has worked out really nicely for the Penguins. This is putting them in a really good spot to get some very good players. So,
yeah, no, 100%. Like, again, they can go back-to-back forwards here, forward defenseman, either two. I think I'm good with.
and like I said on the show today, I wouldn't necessarily be mad if they go with two defensemen, but it just means that it's even more imperative this summer that they're going to have to go after young forwards in the trade market, because it's not like they're set on D. Anybody, they need pretty much everything but goaltending. So, but if you go two defensemen here, you're really going to have to get in gear to find some young forwards.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I mean, we'll have to see how aggressive they get for young forwards. I mean, they've talked about dangling some of their 30 plus picks that they have these next few years to try and go get some of those guys. It doesn't look like it's going to be tonight. That's for sure. Maybe they'll have some action coming tomorrow with all the picks that they have. But yeah, anyone available now that will be ready in the year lineup now. No one's going to be ready, I think, this year. I think that's a little too wishful thinking. At best, maybe a year away, but it's probably going to be a bit more than that.
Ducks taking their sweet time with this one.
They can go in so many different directions. I have no clue what the Ducks are going to do here. This one's weird. Yes, Nikki, our pick is coming up right after this. Our two picks are coming up right after this because they are not going to be trading up.
It'd be hilarious. They just trade up they just swap with Anaheim. Just for the memes. Get the Sedin twins. No, we already got rid of Brian Burke. We don't need to bring him back.
You got Finn Harding, Harrison Brunick. Brunick is going to make a push. I still don't think he is ready just yet, though. But we'll see. He was very close last year, so you never know.
More than 300 of you in here hanging out as we get close to the Penguins pick. This is awesome. Ducks, you're taking your sweet time here. Still on the clock. Oh, they made a pick, but apparently did they? Did they make a pick? What are we doing here? This is a mess. Absolute mess the NHL is going on right now. All right. Gary's out to do something. Yeah, that Ducks venue looks awesome. Oh, that's right. I said it at the start of the show. The Mighty Ducks are coming out. Charlie Conway. Hunter, you're on mute, buddy. All right. Hunter, you're muted, buddy.
Sorry. Oops. Dogs were barking. I really wonder if this is McQueen here for the Ducks. They can do, I don't know.
Billy Gardell to announce the pick. That'd be awesome.
All right, you gotta stop barking, Ted. It's enough.
I'm supposed to start work at 6 a.m. at this point. I'm gonna have to do the rest of the live stream from my desk at work.
Well, we're almost to the two picks.
Where's Emilio at? Emilio! The Mighty Duck Man! Couldn't believe it. Charlie Conway's looking good, man. Roger McQueen to the Ducks.
All right, well, you can just take Victor Eklund here and call it a day.
Yep, let's take Eklund.
I would sprint right up there and draft Victor Eklund right now. I think by far the best player left on my board.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, If you want to go Eklund, Aitchison here, I will be totally fine with that. Eklund Smith, I think, is also fine.
Matt Cook is making the Pens pick. He's been out in the parking lot keying cars for the last hour. Sprint to that stage, Hunter. It's Eklund time.
They got to sprint up. You got to take Victor Eklund. We've been.
Yeah, I think Garrett. I think you're right. Eklund Aitchison feels like what we're destined for here.
I mean, it literally should be a no-brainer.
I don't know, Roger McQueen. That back's looking stiff.
Good for him. Very close to the Penguins, but I will. Yeah, Aitchison is there. Jackson Smith is there. I think one of those two will be Penguins with these picks. I don't think they're going to go back to back. I think that would be a little. I think that's Galaxy bringing it a little bit. You should not go back to back defensemen here.
Good on the Ducks keeping it in the Disney family, taking Lightning McQueen. You love to see that.
Lightning McQueen. All right, Teddy. I know we're. Come on, go on out of here, Ted. All right, Wes Clark. Do not Galaxy brain this.
Oh, boy. Well, an hour and a half in, we get to the Penguins. How about that, folks?
And there was the run on centers, like we expected. All right, just come on. Yeah, McQueen's a big boy. He's a big dude. I firmly believe if the Ducks had gone to someone else, I think the Penguins were going to snag him at 11. I think they were going to roll the dice.
Yeah, for sure. And it's into the draft cave with you, Roger. Oh, G-Tots, I made a Lightning McQueen joke. I said they're keeping it in the Disney family.
Did they got to take Aitchison just because of the suit? That suit's gorgeous.
That suit, oh my God, man.
Take Aitchison for the suit, man.
Just that aura, as the youths say.
Yeah, Brandon, I have Eklund top 5 in this class. I think this should be a slam dunk. Come on. You don't need to. This should be a very easy call in here for the Penguins, I think.
Yeah, there's the Lightning McQueen shirts, the fans of the draft. Oh, that's awesome. And here we go. The Penguins on the clock for 2 straight picks. Here we go. What we've all been waiting for. They're smiling like human beings and everything. Let's see Kyle Dubas be the personable king we know he can be.
No, Alex, I did not see the post on the Chicklets Instagram because I don't want to engage in these trade Sid shenanigans. Yeah,
listen, my buddy. Trade Sidney Crosby for a scoring winger for Sidney Crosby.
Trade him to Montreal for freaking peanuts, says all the Habs fans.
Trade him to Montreal for reasons, nobody knows what these reasons. They need to draft Colby Armstrong.
I know they like Lakovic, but he's just a bit lower on my board. The release is good, but he doesn't use his size at all. I know they want to get bigger, but
I mean, you want to get bigger, but you want to get bigger with a purpose. If it's just a guy who's big for nothing, like what's the point?
Right.
Look at that Market Square office over there. Kyle Dubas and company.
Oh, yeah.
Jen Bolano down there in the bottom right. The GOAT, the absolute GOAT.
Yeah, she's been there forever.
Oh, did you know that one of the Penguins' notable draft picks, according to ESPN, is this Sidney Crosby? Sidney Crosby?
What?
They had a thing up that was notable Penguins draft picks in the past, and it was Crosby, Malkin, and probably Letang.
Oh. What in the hell is Kyle? Looks like he was almost about to start pacing.
Listen, Kyle's glasses are off, Eric. That's how you know it's serious.
This guy's really wearing the Winter Classic Sid jersey at the draft. That jersey's overrated.
Which one?
It's the pirate lookalike one.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. No, that one's not bad. You can't go with the dark blue one. That's a cursed jersey.
Kevin Weeks, be quiet, man. Stop. Just creating these nonsense Sid stuff.
The pick is in.
And Cam Robinson had a good tweet here when he asked Eklund yesterday if he was getting any good vibes from a team. He said Pittsburgh. So, well, maybe we'll see. Just don't galaxy brain this.
No galaxy brain here, boys. No galaxy brain. Who are we getting at 11? And then who are we getting at 12?
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for. The pick is in.
Take Eklund, you cowards.
Take Eklund, you coward. 90 minutes in. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. This has been so much fun.
This is fantastic.
This has been just an absolute blast. Oh, true, Adam. We did say they control us at 11 and then take the better pick.
That is fair. That is fair. Adam Gretz, great tweet, Pat. We were duped on trades again. Yep, we were.
As we always are.
There's going to be so much action, so many trades moving up and down. No.
Wrong.
And now Kevin Weeks puts out his little Islander little thing on Twitter. I don't know what they're doing. All right, pick is in. Just come on, man. Just don't. Well, it would be funny if they did troll us at first and took a defenseman. Yeah, it would be kind of funny.
Here comes Chris Letang to announce the pick.
The man of the hour.
God, look at the aura, the absolute aura of Chris Letang. Just a beautiful human.
His son, I remember back in 2016 when they won the cup. Like, it's crazy how time flies. His son was on the ice. Yeah, now he's almost like a. It's crazy. They took Ben Kindle. I do like Ben Kindle though. Ben Kindle is one of my guys. So it sucks that Eklund wasn't the pick, but Ben Kindle is one of my dudes.
Ben Kindle, it's not who I would have wanted right here, but it's still a good pick.
I didn't think they would take him here, but I do like me some Ben Kindle. For those who don't know about Ben Kindle, really fun player. I think he's actually one of the most underrated prospects in this draft. Has speed for days, really good motor, great release, doesn't need a lot of time to use it. Really good at winning the one-on-one battles along the boards. He's played with Tanner Howell, so there's familiarity there. Really good for the Calgary Hitmen this year. He's also a really smart player, rarely out of position. I like him quite a bit. I would have went Eklund here, but I do like Ben Kindle quite a bit. I see why they went with him.
Yeah, and again, everybody, we'll see what they do with 12. We still got one more pick to go here.
I would have went Eklund here. Maybe they do go Eklund here. They don't, and they don't troll us. That's interesting that they went Kindle here.
So before we all have our meltdowns here, we still got one more pick.
Yes.
But I'm with you, Hunter. I don't love the pick, but it's still a solid one.
It's fine. Like, I'm not like rushing to I'm not going crazy, but I do like Ben Kindle. Like I think he's going to be a good NHLer. I would have went Eklund here, but man, that's me. We'll see if they go another forward here. I know there's still time. You're right, Mayhem Maddie. There is still time for me to go to the stage and take Victor Eklund myself. Maybe they double dip here at forward, or they take a defenseman. We'll have to see. I don't know.
And now it's time for Ben Kindle to walk his way into the draft cage.
Oh, once we're done streaming here, I'll put out a couple tweets, but it's hard to do that. Well, I can do that right now, kind of on my phone if I have to. And Elliot said they're moving down from 12. So that's probably the Islanders moving up if I had to guess. Because Kevin Weeks put out his stupid little tweet with the Islanders. Usually they wouldn't just... Do they think Eklund's going to keep falling? I don't know. Interesting.
Well, the Penguins have galaxy brained.
A little bit. A little bit. I'm a little surprised. I didn't think they would trade down.
Oh, a cute little Penguins fan hanging out.
Let me put out this tweet. They really traded. They traded with the Flyers for 2 picks. That's all they'll trade for with the Flyers is picks now. Cold day in hell when you trade with the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's so whack.
They have a big red button to announce trades.
That's hilarious. I gotta fire off this tweet.
Oh boy.
Interesting. Yeah, no. I should, you know what? I should get another drink here.
I thought it was the Diet Coke button. Gotta say, don't. So now the Penguins have the 22nd and 31st overall picks.
So I guess they're waiting to take someone else there, which is... I don't think Eklund will be there, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Now you've got 22nd and 31. Like, this is... If I had to guess, I don't think they're using both of those.
You might be right. We'll see.
But
like I said, I know the freak out is going on right now, and I get it. I totally get it. Eklund is right there. It is a bit weird, though. I kind of feel like Ben Kindle is the type of prospect that they really like. I will say this. I don't want people to sleep on Ben Kindle. I think he is one of the more underrated prospects in this draft. Should have gone this early? Yeah, like you can debate that. I think that's very fair. But I do think he brings a good skill set to this system. I wouldn't have taken him at 11. He was on my list just because I felt like he was an option, especially a little bit later. But this is still a good player.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably a little bit of a reach is probably the way I would describe it. But we still got to see what else they do tonight. I just don't want people to like fully sleep on Kindle. I'm not trying to,
it's
I'm not trying to be a homer here and defend everything Kyle Dubas does or anything like that. I'm just saying, let's talk about the player. That's all.
It's certainly a reach now, especially with them moving away from 12. But realistically, I mean, now you've got more first round picks, and it does feel like there's going to be more moves to come.
Yeah.
I don't know if I see them using both of these picks in this round. Like, so we'll see what happens.
We shall see.
I mean, let's also be real here. Like, Kindle had 99 points.
Well, it is junior league, so let's
99 points is still 99 points.
I know
man.
that is good, but that's not going to translate to the NHL. So we gotta, he's not going to be a 9. I don't think he'll be a 99-point player.
No, not the NHL.
No, but again, he's super underrated. Like I do like him quite a bit. Would have went for a couple other players ahead, but are we going to stay live for the next picks? We probably have to now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, kind of feels like
I think we're pretty locked in at this rate, people.
May have to take a 5-minute break or something here so we can go refill our
Pat
drinks.
might be late for work.
Might be
Also,
late
Pat,
for
did
work.
you check your phone? We got that text from I think it was like some clipping station.
Who is this announcing the Flyers pick, and why does it look like a hostage video?
What the hell?
Jack
Nesbitt.
Eklund's still on the board, guys.
Oh, that's you want to talk about galaxy braining it. That's a galaxy brain pick, in my opinion.
Oh, it was Brandon Graham. Okay, that makes sense.
Like I know, like the Penguins probably should have taken Eklund there. Yeah, I know. The Flyers do. Like I would not have taken Nesbitt that early.
Someone G-Tots just said it in the chat. Let's be real here. Whoever they took, if they even kept 11 and 12, they weren't going to suddenly make this team a contender next year. This is a process. There's going to be a lot more to do. And
yeah,
let's be real here. Like, we've talked about it for the last couple of weeks. It is not the deepest draft. There's good players. There's going to be usable players, but they weren't picked. They didn't trade away the first overall pick. So all relax. Jack Nesbitt.
Yeah, I would not have taken Nesbitt there.
Yeah, I'm not saying Victor Eklund isn't a good prospect. I think Ben Kindle's a good prospect too, but like, I want to see the next move.
I will say that shout out to my boy King Clarkey on Penguins Twitter. He's on Blue Sky too. He really put me on the Eklund trade a few months ago and said, like, this is someone who I really think they have a good chance of taking. So just wanted to shout him out. I don't know if he's watching, but he really put me on that train. And again, I like the tape quite a bit. Is it a little bit of a reach? Yeah, I would say so. But I think people are underrating Kindle a little bit as well. Like, am I going to say it's the worst thing in the world? No. I just think that, there were a couple better options. So I'll say that. But hey, I think Kindle trust me, people, go watch the tape. His two-way game is really good. The release is great. He's improving a bit as a playmaker, really good along the boards. He's very smart too. Like, you can see the hockey IQ when he plays. Like, I can see why they were interested in him.
Yeah, and Steel City Gator in the chat beat me to it. My fun fact, my high school classmate, Wes Crosby, brought this up. Benjamin Kindle's dad is Steve Kindle, a Canadian soccer player who once played under the current Riverhounds head coach, Bob Lilly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, someone even I saw here on Twitter, Ben Kindle reminds him some ways when Braden Point was a WHL prospect. That's a pretty pretty big comp. I'm not going to comp him to Braden Point as a whole, but that's still like it's high praise. Like, again, like people, like you look what the Flyers just did. Yeah, they were about to trade up to get Eklund. They traded Jack Nesbitt. I don't think he's a top 15 guy. That's my opinion, though.
And I mean, a lot of people had.
Yes, Bush in the Bergs baseball. Yeah, no. Top Down Hockey is very high on him. Will from Scouching also really likes him. If you haven't watched Will yet, Scouching on YouTube, he does such a good job. He's one of the best people out there for NHL draft analysis, one of the best people that I trust. He puts out all the videos on the top prospects. Like he is higher on some people's boards, and Will is definitely one of them.
Yeah, in my good pal Matt Betts brings up a good point here about people get fixated on players they like and how often do teams actually take the fan consensus. This is also something that Bomani Jones once said. Mock drafts are basically fans doing fantasy drafts. And we get so into reading mock drafts and reading all this stuff. And then we get ourselves worked up into it and get annoyed that the fantasy draft didn't work. Like, again, I will continue to reiterate. Kindle feels like a little bit of a reach, and then trading away the 12th pick, it's a little confusing. But at the end of the day, let's see what happens the rest of the draft. Let's see what happens the rest of the offseason. And then once we have a view of the complete product, we can decide how good or bad this was. Because right now, the snap reaction is, I don't like what they're doing right now, but we're not at the end yet. There's still 2 potential picks to be made in the first round. There's potential trades, and we still got the whole offseason. Like, it's surprising. It's disappointing, but we got a long way to go here. So,
yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not trying to shine anyone's, shoes here and, anything like that. It's a process. Yeah. Yeah. Reshny. Yes. I do like him, Eric. I had him a bit lower on my board, but I definitely like him a bit as well. That's like the range where I think he's a good pick. I know he was being mocked a little bit to the Penguins. I felt like top 15 was a little too soon for him, kind of like a little bit for Ben Kindle. I thought Ben Kindle was a first round talent, and I had him on my board in case other players were gone. But I still felt like he was at least a potential option. So, we'll see. Would I have traded 22 and 31 for Jack Nesbitt? No, I would not. No. I don't
kind of felt like Nesbitt was that's kind of actually where he was mocked to go, like 20s, like early to mid 20s. And
for those people that don't know, again, Ben Kindle has played with Tanner Howell. They play on the same line. So there's your other Penguins connection.
So, yeah, I mean, curious to see where this goes, but again, we're not at the completed product yet. We can analyze it in the moment, and in the moment, it's kind of confusing, but still got a long way to go here.
Yep.
Yes, Cal, I'm right there with you. I am glad that the Flyers did not take Eklund.
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree with that.
Justin, thoughts on the draft format so far? Hate it.
Nah, garbage.
Listen, props to the NHL for trying something new and something different. It's not working. Like that.
Hi, Teddy. I know. Thank you. I know you're panting so hard after that pick too. It's ridiculous. Thank you, Teddy. We get
Teddy's not feeling it.
Oh, she's been too busy barking. All right, you can stop panting now, Ted. It's okay.
What do you think the odds are that they got us on in the draft room right now, Hunter? You think they're watching?
What do you say?
So what do you think the odds are they got us on in the draft room right now? You think Kyle's watching?
He's probably like
listen to these 2 bozos.
Get these idiots out of here.
These 2 bozos don't know what I got cooking.
You're breathing into the mic so hard, people are going to get annoyed by it. They better say Gavin McKenna on a silver platter next year for this. Hey, I'll say this. If they somehow win that lottery and get McKenna, we're going to go live on here and make fun of a lot of these other teams. I'll say that.
Man, I got to tell you.
Hilarious.
I got to tell you, Sean McIndoe, down goes Brown, said it, and he's right. The NHL is not beating the allegations that there are not any new hockey fans who weren't alive in the 90s. Like, goodness gracious. Dave Coulier.
Get Uncle Jesse on. Uncle Jesse is going to come on next week. I can confirm, though, that he is a Ben Kindle fan. Maybe not as big as me, but he is a Ben Kindle fan. We've talked about him over text before. He's doing his space right now, too. Shout out to Jesse, man. One of the GOATs.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Detroit takes Carter Bear. Okay.
All right. Eklund's still on the board.
Carter Bear, I love Carter Bear too. Textbook rat. Loves going around the net, loves setting up players around the net. Oh, he was so much fun to watch this year. I love Carter Bear. But I know Red Wings fans were hoping for Eklund, so sorry. NHL Hits 2003. I have not played that. I will.
Oh, NHL Hits was the best. NHL Hits.
There are a lot of people interested in that 12th pick, so. Someone said, damn, now I have to watch the rest of the draft.
Yeah, damn you, NHL. I wanted to go to bed.
I know Pat has work tomorrow, too.
Yeah, Glenn pulling a Shador.
Oh.
Feels like these guys are Undertaker walking to the ring. Yeah, they're taking their... Or like Roman Reigns.
I know. What is this?
Dubas just doing all this to avoid the draft house feed.
How long? Oh, won't be this year. Probably a couple years, 3, something like that, if I had to guess. Like, it's not going to be overnight if that's what you want to know. Let's see what else is going on Twitter. Yeah, if you look at Byron Bader, who does like one of his models for hockey prospecting, NHL World probabilities for Ben Kindle, 77%, some comps that he has. And that's like a star producer, for example. He has Jacob Voracek as a star producer, French star. He has Braden Shen, who's had a really fun career developing, kind of like Logan Cooley. That, again, these are just it's just analytics. So some people will care, some people won't. I just wanted to put it out there because I thought it was fascinating. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there. His model profile is very good. So just wanted to let everyone know. We'll see what happens here the rest of this. One of the 2 defensemen is there. That might be one of the other picks. I think more people will be comfortable them taking Jackson Smith late in the first round now. I didn't, I would have been okay with him at 12. I think he's probably a little bit later is probably best for him. But
all right,
so still there too.
Real quick here, everybody. going to give you a peek behind the curtain. Hunter is going to have to jump off here real quick because we have to do a draft reaction for the Locked On NHL network. Yep. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have Hunter do that, but don't worry. We're not ending the live stream. We're going to come right back up. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on. So hang out with us for a little bit longer. We will be back for all of that. So for now, thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to be back here in just a little bit. Hunter's going to go do the draft reaction, and then we'll be back right after that. All right. Hunter is finishing up his reaction for the Benjamin Kindle pick. As you can see, we got the rundown updated again. We are back, and boy, seems like you guys got some opinions on this about this this pick here. So, Will, let's talk about it. Here's the thing. I've been saying it. If you guys have been hanging out the whole time, listen, it's a bit of a reach of a pick, but here's the thing. I'm very curious to see what happens here because now they went from having 2 firsts to 3 in what is not a very deep draft. This is not a draft that has a lot of A1 prospects, and at this point I want to see what they do. If they use both the picks, I'm going to be very confused because better players have been available. Eklund still on the board here, which is absolutely hilarious. We'll see what happens there. But I mean, realistically, there's a lot of ways they can go here. The regular season, the off season still has a long way to go. And I mean, realistically, if you can find a way to move these picks to somebody else and find a way to get a young player, something like that, I'm not going to be upset about that. So again, we'll see what happens here, but yeah, I think Carbonneau would be interesting. I said on the show about him, I'm curious to see how he develops, what he turns into, because there is a lot of skill there. But what worries me about him is putting it all together in an NHL package. Like, I don't think he would, I would be doubtful to say he'd be a bust, but it would be a bit of a project. So, and Justin, you're dead on. And this is something that I have been saying for quite some time. I know that it's almost a sin to say in Pittsburgh, but Kyle Dubas went to the Bill Belichick School of Asset Management. Rather than putting all of your eggs into one basket and hoping that 1 or 2 prospects hit, you want to see if you can get 3 to 4, 5 or 6, and you have more of an opportunity to make them hit, because we've seen it every year. We see it every single year. Teams will pick early, they'll take someone, and that's all they get. And if they don't work out, they're kind of up the creek. So let's see who Jim Rutherford and company goes with here at 15. Because, you know, when you have locker room problems, you go with Evander Kane, right? Braden Coots. So Eklund still on the board. Yeah, Kate, and you're dead on. It's going to be a mixture of picks and trades. This isn't going to be. Yeah, I said 15. But yeah, Kate, you're right. This is going to be a process. It's going to be a mixture of getting prospects, of getting young players and trading them. Oh, Eric, you're saying we're only on 15. Yeah. 2 hours into this and we're on pick 15. We're not even halfway. This is insane. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Bob, you're dead on. The NHL draft is a crapshoot. Like, it's throwing darts at a board, especially in a draft like this. Once you get out of the top 5, it's throwing darts at a board and you're hoping that they hit. And somebody said it. I got to scroll up here in the comments to give you the correct shout out. John Cups, you're dead on. They hired a staff and a head coach who is known for development, has done a lot of really good developmental work, and that is going to really help. And this isn't a guy that you're hoping can make this all work. It's a guy who has a track record. He has done a great job with the U.S. development team. He's done a very good job in Nashville, a very good job in New York. So it's really, I think they got the right guy for the most part. We'll see how it translates to an NHL head coaching job, but I like it. Brandon, thanks for jumping in. And Benjamin Kindle is a solid prospect. It's a reach at 11. I don't think it's a deep reach. I don't think it's like they picked a second round guy over 11th overall, but it's a guy who is going to be a productive NHL player. Is he going to be a star? No, but he's going to be a legitimate NHL player if he develops correctly. So we will. And the other thing I'll say about this too is the NHL is still the NHL, man. There are teams that will find the slightest problem with a player, whether it's Eklund, Aitchison, any of the names we've thrown out there, and they'll find the slightest flaw and go, well, we can't draft him for that. He doesn't, excuse me, he doesn't weigh enough. He's not big enough. He didn't give us the right answer in the draft. I mean, we talked about it early in the live stream about the Sam Bennett contract. If you remember, if I'm correctly, obviously chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Sam Bennett couldn't do a friggin' pull-up at the NHL Draft Combine, and look how he's doing now. So, yeah, and Matthew's comment says, I think it doesn't help that people hear about certain prospects for like 2 months straight, and the Penguins pick a player that wasn't meant until later. I brought it up a little bit ago. One of my favorite sports analysts is Bomani Jones, and he talked about this with the NFL draft, where people will dive into these mock drafts, they'll dive into all this analysis and get all worked up over these mock drafts, which are literally just people, obviously with more of a profile and more followers and more of experience, like me and Hunter, who just go through all the footage, go through all the film and write our thoughts down and mock draft people. Scouts do this on a daily basis. Managers do this on a daily basis. They talk to these guys. They talk to coaches. They talk to managers. They talk to family and friends and teammates. So it's a crapshoot. And Zach, I get your point. And I will disagree on cesspool of a city. I love the city of Philadelphia. Every time I go there, I have a blast. It's an awesome city. But I think this is also part of a rebuild, is you can't get locked into the rivalries and all the goofy stuff. You have to take the best of what you can. If that means sending someone to Philly or trading with the Rangers or anyone in the Metro, you have to do it to make your team better. So at the end of the day, it's a reach pick, to get back to the original point, but it's not a vicious reach. It's not like, again, like they took a second round talent 11th overall. It's a guy who's going to game out to be a solid middle six forward. And we've been talking about it on the show. The Penguins, they're in need of just about everything but goaltending. So you got to try to get as much as you can here. So yeah, and this comment from Christopher: Kindle has a high hockey IQ and is a hard worker. That's easy to mold. And Eddie, you're right too. I think you can weaponize the 12th overall. They could have weaponized it better. They could have used it in a different manner. They could have packaged it better, but it is what it is. And I'll keep beating this drum. And I don't want this to come off as make it seem like I'm blindly defending Kyle Dubas, because I'm not. But I don't want to be hot take overreactionary and freak out that they did this, because we don't have the full picture. Now, if this turns out to be a bad decision at the end of the night, Hunter and I are going to say that. We are going to say that, but we don't have the full story yet. It's a reach. It's a bit of a reach, but they still have 2 picks to go, and we'll see what happens from there. So got the Islanders on the clock here at 16. We will see what they do with that. Very interested to see. Yeah, I like that comment, Sean. In a draft that wasn't overly stacked, you turn 2 first-round picks into 3. That's a good way to look at it. So we'll see what happens here. Downside of no longer having Twitter is I am not getting all the best hockey content. So saw someone say trade. Nope. Familiar today. So, oh yeah, they were just recapping the Dobson trade. So and who knows? This is not a very deep draft, as we have said about 1 billion times at this point. So this is going to be silly season in this first round because teams are going to overthink it. Teams are going to reach. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, I want to see the full story before I have a full-on hot take. I'd rather just talk about what Kindle can do. And as always, more than 200 of you hanging out here on a Friday night at 9:00 for the NHL draft. Honestly, I'll get into this real quick. Not having Twitter anymore. It's not a political thing. It became unusable. It became annoying, and I wasn't enjoying it anymore. Like there's no real big sweeping statement for it. I just didn't enjoy it anymore. And 11:30 a.m. in Australia, man. Shout out for you for watching us in Australia. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Maybe we can make a trade with Tampa and get Gensel back. That'd be funny. That'd be really funny. I will say, for Ben Kindle, obviously I'm not making the 1-to-1 comparison, so don't hit me too hard on that. But I like a lot of Kindle's hockey mind. I think he's a very smart hockey player, and that is really what made Jake Gensel great. I always said that he is the definition of a coach's kid. He thought the game really, really well and instinctively knew the game really, really well. So I would be stunned if he turned into the next Jake Gensel, but the way he thinks the game, the way he plays the game, extremely smart player, works hard, and that's always a big help when you're a top end talent or a first round pick. So planning on doing any lives in the future? Probably. I mean, this was probably the best way to do one for us, was because, we're sitting here watching a live event. We could maybe do some sort of live game stream or something in the future, but we don't want it to lose its novelty. You don't want it to become just another thing that you do. You want it to, oh man, Kevin Connolly announcing the Islanders pick. E from Entourage. It's my background show when I've got nothing else to do. When I want to just shut my brain off, watch Entourage. And he's also a fellow short king, so shout out to him. Let's see who the Islanders go with here. Yeah, Nate, I get your point. I would have rather had 12 than 2 picks later, but I want to see what they do with this. I want to see if they use them or if they use them for a trade. So we'll see what happens here. Eklund to the Islanders. Oh, you do hate to see that. Eklund to the Islanders. Yeah, you guys called it. Hate to see it.
Right as I come back, Victor Eklund goes to the Islanders. That's just that's poor timing.
Bad timing, Hunter. You cursed it. Way to go.
That's so funny. Oh, another reason to hate the Islanders. I already hate them so much anyway. So, but no, I'll say this here again about this. I know a lot of people are going to say that this is a disaster. I promise you it is not. I implore everyone to go put on the tape. Ben Kindle, I still think, is one of the most underrated prospects in this draft. He instantly becomes arguably the best player in the system, in my opinion. Would I have done it there? No, I probably would have taken Eklund. But I still think Ben Kindle he just again, the traits that he has: good release, good motor. His two-way play is very good. His hockey IQ is very much there. I see why they took him. He's not going to be ready right away. 100% no on that. Maybe 2 to 3 years. But am I going to sit here and say that this is like the worst pick imaginable? No. I think I see why they went with this guy. And yes, Gil on the Islanders podcast is very good. Gil is one of my dudes. He is fantastic. Really good friend. I may not like his team that much, but he is a great dude. But I just wanted to say that about Ben Kindle, because I know there was some freak out earlier. We're having a clip posted to the YouTube channel where I talked about the pick with Rachel Donner of Locked On Flyers, who it was fun to talk about that pick with her, considering that the Penguins and Flyers made a trade. But I promise people, Ben Kindle is legit. So please, if you haven't already, go put on the tape. You can see the skill set. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I'll keep saying it, and everyone in the chat saying it's right. Islanders having themselves a night. This is a good draft for them.
It sucks to say, but they are doing well.
But yeah, I'll keep saying it, that Kindle is not a reach in the sense that he's a bad pick. It's, I would say, max 5 spots too early.
Yeah, it's right around there. If you want to argue 10, I won't argue with you, but I mean, 5 to 6 maybe. But yeah, there's still options out there. Colin Potter is still available right now. Kayshawn Aitchison is still there at 22 people. So hey, what if they get him? You never know. But Marshall, it's gonna be painful when Eklund scores the goal that knocks us out of the playoffs in the future. Well, you know what? That is evil.
I mean, the Islanders could have picked a group of raccoons in a trench coat and it would knock the Penguins out, because it's just, the Islanders historically haunt the Penguins. So, and just, now that Islanders draft,
I didn't see it coming, but I shouted out, King Clarkey. He's one of my dudes. He put me on to Ben Kindle several months ago and said, like, this could be someone who they would take. And I, when I was preparing for this, I turned on the tape and the skill set is there. I think people are going to like him. I think once they turn on the tape a little bit more. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to shine anyone's shoes here. I'm just trying to be as objective as possible.
Yeah, Zach, you're absolutely right. Easton Cowan, Leafs fans, when they made the pick, were so mad and so annoyed. And now, like, they want Easton Cowan to center the first line. Like, they're so hyped on him now. And how many raccoon equal one Sidney Crosby? I don't know, 87? I will say, if there is one thing I am liking, we're not trying to talk ourselves into being
utterly disappointed. Like, was I a little annoyed that they didn't take Eklund? Yeah, but I had Ben Kindle a little on my list. I really liked him. I figured he would be an option. I didn't think they'd take him, but.
And yeah, this is a player that'll be useful. And we have been saying this for a long time, that they were not going to be able to get an immediate difference maker in this draft.
Unless they were trading up.
Unless they traded up into the top 5, they weren't going to get an instant difference maker. This is where we are. Like, fans aren't going to hate him when he's on the team.
No, I don't think
that's not Pittsburgh's style. It never has been. It's not what we do. Brendan asks, how do you guys feel about our Geno replacement plan with Tristan Brosby and center depth? Yeah, again, the thing is, we are, if this is a book that we're writing, we are in chapter 1 right now, maybe chapter 2 of this rebuild. We're nowhere near the end of the story. And some people in the comments have been hitting me with some WWE references. Listen, this is Roman Reigns saying the bloodline story's just getting started. We're not done here. Like, we got a long way to go, people. Like, there's going to be a lot more trades. There's going to be more draft picks. There's going to be a lot more to do. So I get it. In a vacuum, it's very annoying. It's annoying, but here we are. We're at the start. You got to see the whole we got to be able to see the whole picture before we freak out.
Yeah. It's fair. yeah, I'm curious what's to come as well. So
Aitchison to the Islanders.
damn it. Oh, that sucks. Wanted him to drop a little bit more. Damn. Well, you still got Justin Carbonneau out there. Reshny is still there as well. Cullen Potter, who I like quite a bit as well with his speed, reminds me of a better offensive version of Carl Hagelin. So they're still going to have some guy, if they're not all taken in the next few picks, but they're still going to have some players available. Islanders are crushing it, though. I will say that. Yes, everyone in the chat is right. The Islanders are. It's rare when they draft like this. I think this is new era when Uncle Lou is not there anymore. I know, Tom. The locked on higher up people will come find me for saying that. I said, damn it. I'll say it again. Whatever. That's the Islanders, guys. They love sticking it to the Penguins every time they can.
Yeah, this is everyone's saying it. This is a big draft for the Islanders. They're doing really well.
Yeah, that's an.
I don't know about return to the 1980s Islanders, but
Schaefer, Eklund, and Aitchison. That's real good. Yeah, Justin, I think Carbonneau might be there. I had him a bit on my board, a little bit lower, but I think at that point, it's like I would not have picked him at 11 or 12, but I think at that time, if it's 22, for example, definitely a good time to pull the trigger there, especially with his skill set too. Yeah, Bridgeport was awful last year too, so maybe they will be a bit better. How many picks? 5 more. Until
5 more.
And then we got 31. I don't know if we're Pat has to go to work tomorrow. We're going to stay on till 31.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
We'll see. I'm going to pour myself one more here, and I'll just finish that off.
Hunter, you'd probably be better to answer this than me. Any gritty players with a scoring touch available, a la a young Wilson, not expecting his high ceiling, but similar in that vein?
Gritty. I wouldn't say Colin Potter is gritty, that's for sure. Reshny, I mean, not really. If you want to say like Lakovic, sure, but he needs to start using his size to his advantage. If he starts using his size, then yeah, I'd throw that in there maybe, but he doesn't go around the net as much, and I want him to. Like when you watch Tom Wilson, he's always around the net. Great release, of course, even from distance, but he's always around the net as well. Big dude. Lakovic, I think he needs to start using his big frame a bit more for me.
That was kind of my knock on Lakovic, is that he's got the size. He's got to start using it.
Pat, someone's asking about your boy Spence.
I like Spence, but I mean, again, I do think that, yeah, Islanders are very lucky in this one. Spence would be a nice pick, I think, if he's still hanging around at some point. But yeah, I mean, again, I want to see where this goes. Like that's my thing. Is I know that everyone's freaking out. I totally understand it. I totally get it. But also the other thing is, yeah. Oh man, Zachary, you're reading my mind. How many times have we seen guys taken in like the 4th round? You never think about them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not huffing on the copium, but like it happens every year. You end up.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to huff on the copium either for Ben Kindle. I'm just giving you my honest thoughts after watching a bunch of the tape. That's all. You know, shout out to the Islanders. They've crushed it. That's a really good draft for them. That's a nice job. Darsh is good. There's a reason why the Penguins almost hired him in the first place. If Dubas did not get that job, I think Darsh was probably going to get it.
Yeah. Chris, come on, man. It's not an Utterbot's job. Like,
I wouldn't call it a disaster. I think that's too far. It's
been one pick. Like, it's been one pick. There have not been any trades made. There have been no signings made. Like, come on. Like, we're not doing that here. Like, we're not doing the thing where we freak out over one pick. Like, and there was one. I correct myself. There was one trade, and it was the trade back. Like
all the insiders always say we're getting so many trades. It's ridiculous. Yes, Maddie, thank you for that comment again. Yes, I will be teaming up with Kelsey to provide written coverage for the Hockey News starting July 1st, and I'm really excited about it. I'm not going anywhere in here though. Pat's not going to get rid of me that easily, and yeah, I'm super excited. That's going to be written coverage, so you can find all my awful takes on there now, not just on the pod. You can find them on the Hockey News, but excited. I'm really excited to team up with her, be co-editors and stuff. She's great. So,
and as we saw from the numbers here on this live stream, when it was me solo, the numbers dipped. When you came back, they spiked again. So no one wants to hear me blab. No one wants to hear me blab solo.
Yeah, I know, Chris. Yeah, doesn't look like some of the stuff is smoke screens. So yeah, that did not happen.
Hey, all I'm saying, Penguins need center help. Oilers are going to be in a cap crunch. Listen, those McDavid t-shirts in the strip district, they're going to hit. They're going to hit.
It. That's enough. Would be really funny. It would be funny.
Yeah, Eric, I'm messing. Like, I listen, if you know anything about me, I love self-deprecating humor. When you're a man in his 30s who's been under 5'5" his entire life, if you can't laugh at yourself, it's going to be a miserable existence. All right, here's Calgary's pick.
Let's see what they do here.
Oh, Lanny McDonald, the greatest mustache in the history.
That is the GOAT right there, man. That is the GOAT. Oh, what a...
I'm fairly certain Lanny McDonald doesn't age. Like, I think that man has been he's been perpetually 45 forever. Brendan, talking about a haul for Rust or Raquel, it depends. Because I know Hunter's going to want to throw his PC out the window when I say this, because it's been the most repeated line from everybody, is that the Penguins are basically the only team who are sellers right now. Like, there are going to be, whether it's right after free agency or at the trade deadline, a bunch of teams that are going to miss out on what they want, and they will overpay for it. So picks and prospects or a young player. Cole Reshny.
That mustache is so beautiful, though. I can't lie. Just gorgeous. Yeah, there's Reshny. Yeah, good. That's a good pick for Calgary. He's solid.
Yeah. I don't think any of the Penguins trades, except for really this one at the draft, have been lackluster. Like, they did really good with the Gensel trade.
I mean, but yeah, like Justin, like the thing is, like, we joke about it, but like this like happens every year. The insiders, oh, like I think this draft could get crazy, and yeah, we had a couple of trades leading up to it, but like same stuff every year. Oh, it could get crazy. during the draft.
All I'm saying is if they get Isaac Howard, he turns out to be a franchise player. Will Howard becomes the Steelers QB. It's going to be Howardsburg, baby.
Oh, there is a Twitter account waiting to make that one. All these little Rogersburg account. You got what's the other one? That's the big.
Hey,
one.
we got to get back to the
Pickens. There's that
we
one.
We got to get back to the.
But he might have changed it.
We got to get back to the real Twitter in the 2010s when it was something name a player's ego.
Oh, Sidney Crosby's ego. That account was funny back in the day. I can't lie. He had some funny tweets. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Kane though, like, my question was, why did Vancouver even help out? Why did Vancouver even help out Edmonton there? I just would not have helped out, especially for a division rival. The Buffalo one, yeah, like I see what they're going for with Kesselring. They want him to be the top pair guy. I just don't know if he's going to develop into that. So that's why I think there's the risk there. Doan, I think, is a fine bottom 6 player, but like, I would have gone maybe for some of those other packages, but I'm still not sure how credible those are. Like I saw Frank put out all those tweets and stuff.
Yeah, Grim Rutherford was a solid one.
Grim Rutherford was really funny. That was a really, really, really good one. I want to know who runs that one.
But yeah, you brought up we were talking about the Kane thing. I said it early in the show. Like, I don't get that move, helping out a division rival, not having them retain salary. And what was the biggest story surrounding the Canucks this year? That they were having locker room issues, and Kane has not exactly been known to be the best locker room guy. So that's the Jim Rutherford experience, man. The first couple years he goes on a heater and then just,
I mean, yeah, Jim is nothing if not chaotic. I don't know, man. Vancouver's offseason is going to be really interesting. You might see Quinn Hughes request a trade here kind of soon. I joke, but you never know.
Why are people always spreading rumors of Crosby getting traded to insert team?
Oh my God.
Because people need clicks.
Yeah. Engagement bait, engagement farming, whatever you want to call it, people. That's all it is. We don't need to. That's all it is. Do not Penn's blog. Yeah. Yeah. The OG Penn's blog back in the day, Pat. Oh,
dude.
That was fun.
Like, and most people here probably know, like, after the OGs left, I was part of that second generation for Penn's blog. Mm-hmm. Like, the amount of comments we would get of people being like, "Oh, you guys aren't the OGs." We're like, "Yeah, we're not trying to be. We can't." Like, those guys were perfect for that moment in time, and it would have been so disingenuous to try to emulate what they did, and it would have been terrible. So we kind of took it in a different direction. We still had fun. We still made our jokes. We still, brought humor into it, but like we weren't going to try to be the OGs. Adam, Derek, Rick, Jesse, all those guys.
Potter, by the way, Zachary, Colin Potter, I believe. Yes. So I'm pretty sure if they take Colin Potter at 22, if he's there, you're going to see all the Harry Potter jokes come out. So just want to let everyone know.
Brandon, you want to talk about a player who's been traded everywhere forever, Evgeny Malkin.
Oh, God.
Malkin's been traded to the LA Kings 900 times over.
Malkin for Oshie and Bacchus, if the OGs know who made that one.
Oof.
I'll let you guys try to figure out who made that one.
Speaking of the OG Penn's blog, one of the craziest things to me is that Greg Wyshynski's ESPN's like lead NHL reporter, because we all know where he started, man. Yahoo Puck Daddy.
Yes. Big Devils guy. Rangers fans hate him. You should see what I have a couple Rangers buddies I text all the time, and they're like, I freaking hate this guy. Yeah, that's right, Blake. Yes. I know that. Couple people got it. Yes. You guys know. That's why we have great listeners and watchers. You guys are the best.
Yeah, Kate, Puck Daddy. I mean, I've always been most unusual Pens jersey as a Christian Ehrhoff. Oh man,
Chris, I haven't heard that name in
man.
a while.
I had a James Neal jersey, but he was pretty.
My mom gave me her OG Paul Coffey jersey for, well, a long time ago, but I don't even know
Pick
what
is
happened
in
to
at
that.
19 for the Blues.
Lakovic, I think at 22, I am a lot more comfortable taking him. I am a lot more comfortable taking him there. That release is nasty from distance. Whew. His skating is a little bit clunky. Think it can be worked on, but that release is something else. I like it a lot. I have him on my board, but I think 22 is actually a good place to take him. The miss on the Marchman trade. I mean, I just don't really know like what the plan is in Seattle. Again, just stocking up on middle six guys. I don't know. Seattle's weird. Dallas is doing a bunch of stuff. They still have to hire a coach.
Penguins legend Patrick Marleau.
Yes. Penguins legend Patrick Marleau, man. That was a fun time.
God, the new Blues uniforms are crisp. Nikki Glazer doing the selection. What a pick.
Well, I'll be at development camp next week, so that'll be fun. Yeah, Penguins legend Mikhail Granlund. Yeah, Cam Reed, Logan Hensley. Yeah, they're not bad either. Not
Yeah, I
bad
wouldn't hate
options.
those.
Yeah. Craig, we're not Ben Sherrington out here. Let's not compare them to the Pirates.
Oh, singing Gloria or not, man. What a moment that was in 2019 with Gloria.
Yeah.
Justin Carbonneau to the St. Louis Blues.
Yup. Nick, that's right. Nikki Glazer was at the draft. That's really cool. Carbonneau, yeah, that's a good spot for him. That's like right around the range where I think I would have taken him. Hey, my boy Colin Potter is still there. That's also my man Clark's man too. So Dmitry Kulikov, yes, that is also a legend right there. Played well for the Panthers. I took the L on that. Did not.
Was it Kulikov last year that played like what, 3 or 4 games?
Hey, yes, that's correct. Yeah, 2 more picks.
2 more picks to go.
Though we have to see if we stay live until 31 because Pat has to go to work tomorrow.
I have worse ways to spend a Friday night. Kunako had a long kind of Luke Shen, that's who I was thinking of.
Luke Shen, in and out. Yeah, my buddy's texting me. Yep, there goes Carbonneau. I'm like, yep, I know.
Oh man, Eric Goodbranson, that was oof.
Top still there. I would probably say Lakovic, Colin Potter, and probably Cam Reed, if I had to guess. If I had to, again, like some of these guys are my honorable mentions, so I didn't even get to talk about, Cam Reed on the show, which sucks. Maybe he's the pick, so we'll see.
What's going to happen with Sam Poulin? He is, I say it on the show a lot, he's a quad A guy. Like, he's probably too good for the AHL, but not really good enough to be a regular NHLer. So, like, I feel bad because he works hard. He seems like he means well, but it feels like it's not there. So
we'll see, Kate. We'll see. I'm already 0 for 1 on the picks tonight, so we'll see if I'm spot on. Yeah, Vinny Desharnais. Yeah, that's also another.
That's right. There was a brief but lovely Vinny Desharnais era in Pittsburgh.
Penguin legend Derek Brassard. Oh, makes me so mad how he cried.
Oh, Richard Park.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. A little bit.
Oh,
Pat's older than me, so I know you remember him more than I do.
Brandon, for Granlund, it didn't work. He wasn't gonna work here. It wasn't a fit. I know that like people freak out about it, but sometimes, and you brought up Derek Brassard, like it's same deal. Like it sometimes players just aren't a fit on a team.
Yeah. Can Koivunen shift to C? No, I think he's going to play wing. Lizabinek, McCulloch. Yeah, Granlund, there's a lot of revisionist history with that. I am so happy that he figured it out. He found his game again. There was talk, I think, that he was going through a divorce with his wife at the time of the trade to the Penguins, so that might have played an effect as well. I've seen that heavily reported out there. But I am very happy that he found his game again with the Sharks. I just didn't think he was going to be a fit here. But, again, shout out to him. I thought he's done a great job since then, and I'm happy for him.
Really
I love how everyone in the comments now is just thinking of former Penguin players who.
Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with doing. There's nothing wrong with doing. Remember some guys. Remember some guys is one of my.
That's fun.
We're really pausing the draft to give the GM of the Year award.
David Perron. I remember where I was for the David Perron trade. I was, I think, in English class when they made that trade. I remember, I got the notification. I was like, "What?" He didn't work out the way we wanted it to. He's been great ever since. I was still so excited though when they made that trade.
Again, I will reference Jeff Merrick. The GM of the Year award is the Stanley Cup. That is the GM of the Year award.
Tom Kostopoulos, yeah. Stefan Nason. Hey, Stefan Nason's been good since then. He's a nice good little depth piece in the league. He's been good.
Real ones remember Mark Streit. Yeah.
Throwback to when the Penguins and the Flyers wouldn't even trade with one another for that.
They had to bring in a fence.
They had to send them to Tampa, if I recall correctly, right? And then the Tampa, I think, flipped him to Pittsburgh because the Flyers just did not want to trade him there. Oh, the pettiness. It was so good.
Oh, my God. A Sergei Plotnikov reference in the year of our Lord 2025.
Derek Pouliot.
Plotnikov was the next one.
Alexei Ponikarovsky. Hey, man. He was fun at times. It was fun.
Craig, I wouldn't say.
How about Steve Sullivan?
Steve Sullivan, yeah, big 2'6". Steve Sullivan. Oh man,
Lisa. Everyone remember Marcel Gotch?
Marcel Gock.
Gock. Maxime Lapierre when he did the chicken dance in the playoff series. Oh, that was so good.
Dustin Jeffrey, that's a good one. Yeah, we planned on a quick one, but you know what? We're having fun. Why not hang out?
We're just chilling.
Oh, Sean Fogel brings. I was gonna Google it and I didn't, but Sean brings up Eric Comrie. I don't know what. I had a roommate in college when the Penguins got Comrie. I don't know what it was. My roommate this one year had an irrational hatred of Comrie. And he wasn't even a Penguins fan. Just for some reason, like anytime Comrie showed up, he got so mad. Like just so mad.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wasn't Comrie married to Hillary Duff? Is that true? I actually did not know that. Is that
what?
Kate? As it wasn't Comrie married to Hillary Duff? Is
that
true? Oh,
yeah.
Did not know that.
Oh man. Shout out to you guys
for all these former Penguins
joining us on Remember Some Guys. This is awesome.
Mike Comrie.
Yeah, Mike Comrie. Sorry, I got that wrong.
Yes, Mike Fisher was, Carrie Underwood, yes. I remember Carrie Underwood was always at the games in 2017. She was stirring up some stuff with Penguins fans on social media, I remember correctly. What do you think, Ted?
Dude. Yeah, almost 3 hours and we're at pick 20. This is
they can't do this again. Like another little rant about that. You cannot do this again. Like, just bring back the regular draft. There is no reason for this, man. Like, this is NFL territory that we're at. And I love the NFL draft, man. I love watching it, especially to see who the Steelers take. I love my Pittsburgh Steelers. But, like, that takes a long time. This is right up there.
Alexei Morozov to come back to the Penguins.
Someone brought up the Naslin trade. That I'm like, ooh.
Dick Tarnstrom, me and a friend of mine would always talk about Dick Tarnstrom and Rick Jackman and call it the Rick and Dick connection.
If I've ever told this story, my mom has met Rick Tocchet before. Got into a massive fight the night before. Comes into the bank and she's there with a big black eye. She was like, "Nice fight, man." He goes, "Oh, you saw that?" She goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, well, thanks." It was just a small little interaction, but I thought it was funny when she told me.
Around for Darius Kasparaitis. 1-1, baby. Big hit on Lindros.
Oh, yeah.
Have I
crankshaft? Larry, yes, Larry. Douglas Murray. I know that the trade was kind of nuts. Douglas Murray was a ton of fun to watch. That goal against the Islanders still lives rent free in my head.
Since we got one pick to go.
Yeah.
Have I told
what a dump of an arena? I hate that place.
Have I told on the pod the story about when I met Billy Guerin when I was working for the Nailers? When I was working for the Nailers, I did a lot of digital and PR work, and he was in town because he was still the director of player development, and I was setting up where he was going to sit, and I ended up meeting him. And I was like, "Oh, hi, Mr. Guerin. Really nice to meet you. I'm a big fan." He gets this like dead serious look on his face. And he goes, "Don't you ever call me Mr. Guerin again. It's Billy." And held it for like 30 seconds and then just started laughing. He was like, "So nice to meet you, man. Thanks for everything. It was really great." And I was just like, "Oh, I thought I was about to die. I thought Bill Guerin was about to kill me." Andrianov to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Who?
It's a goalie from Russia, a Russian goalie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I misheard you for a second. My bad. Again, like they'll still have.
Kyle says they need to hold the draft in a real hockey arena. I will say this. At the end of the day, the NHL draft is a TV event. Like I went to the draft in 2012 when it was in Pittsburgh. And if you think watching this on ESPN is boring, being there in person, it's twice as boring, man.
No, I hear you. Someone asked about the Penguins Islanders playoff history. I believe it's how many times did they play? I think it's 6 series they played against each other, if I recall.
At least.
If I recall my history right. I mean, two of the most heartbreaking series of all time against them. So, like, yeah, there's, oh, yeah, yes, Kovalev back in 2011 was a fun time. Yeah, I know, Greg. Yeah, again, two of the most heartbreaking series in the franchise history were against them. I know 93 is for teams that didn't win the cup. That's the best team in franchise history outside of the cup teams, Pat. And I know you will agree with that. Pat, he's looking at his phone.
I was just making sure people on social media knew that we're still live and playing a rousing game of Remember Some Dudes?
Jeremy, I said outside the cup teams, the 93 team was that team should have won it.
Oh, I still blame Scotty Bowman for that. Push that team to their absolute limit. And they should have sleptwalked to a cup, but he was
they should have.
So worried about, and Kevin Stevens broke his face, but
yeah.
Oh, Steve Downey was a Penguin for a minute.
That was one of Jim Rutherford's first signings. Yeah, I know that game after the Johnson DiPietro fight, that next game when the Islanders just called up their goon squad.
That game was such a circus.
Disgusting.
Oh my God, there is a name I have not heard in years. Yanni Pessinen. He was gonna light it up. My favorite Brent Johnson thing was on Penguins Caps 24/7 when they did the like mini feature on him when he started a game. They had a picture of him or a shot of him in the locker room, and he just had a dip the size of me in his lip. It was insane.
No,
But
Mark,
yeah,
it is not usually this long. No.
no.
It is usually a lot shorter than this. This is NFL territory right now.
Oh, Ronald Petrovicki. That's a good one. That is a
Konstantin
real good
Koltsov,
remember some
yeah.
dudes. Konstantin Koltsov, the original 71.
Damn right. Carter
Rowney.
Oh.
Wheeling Nailers legend.
Won the
Carter
cup
Rowney.
with them in 17. Ron Hainsey. Yeah. Awesome dude.
Millennial Ron Hainsey.
Yes. Rico Fata forever. Yep.
You know, Goligoski for Neil and Niskanen was a steal, but I still do wish they would have just accepted that Sid and Gino were hurt that year and just picked higher in the draft.
Throwback to when James Neal was headhunting Sean Couturier that entire series in 2012. That dude just went out there every shift just trying to go for his head.
Hey,
Every time. He was so mad.
Nope. Do we got a trade coming?
Ottawa is moving down, trading the pick to Nashville. So Nashville's coming up to steal someone. I don't blame you, Kevin. Pat has to work pretty early tomorrow. Adam Hall. Yes. That is a good one. Are you messing with the comments?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through and my trackpad on my MacBook's messed up. So
21 for 23 and 67. Okay, so they're moving down 2 spots, whatever. What did you
Cup
do?
champ Kevin Porter.
Your mouse pad's being whack. Thomas Grice. Yeah, well, I know Patrick, he trades down again. I don't know if he'll do that here, but who knows?
Oh my God, Tom Sestito was a Penguin for a minute. That's wild. Senators trade the 21st overall pick to the Preds.
Yeah, for 23 and 67. So they're gonna pick here after 22. I don't know if I'll make it to 31 at this rate. I'm getting old, people.
Oh, they reset the damn clock.
Oh my God.
Let's see how Barry Trotz screws this one up.
Let us see what happens here.
Dude, Rob Klinkhammer, man. That's a name.
That's a good one.
This first round might last until the start of the second round. Well, that's how it works.
This is ridiculous. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've said it on the show a lot, Lars, that if you're Kyle Dubas and basically any NHL GM at this point, call Barry Trotz every chance you get.
Yeah.
Like, tomorrow's
a lot easier. Like that's what you might see some player trades. Like the first night is always just so
it's theater. The first night's theater. They're just
yeah.
It's a whole production, and then day 2 is basically just like I was reading from Julian McKenzie on The Athletic. He wrote a really good story about how these teams are doing the decentralized draft, and there's a headset in every room, every team's room, where that's connected right to the NHL. So like it'll be the equivalent of, if you've ever seen a day two, they don't even go to the stage. They just say into a microphone, with this pick, we select blah, blah, blah. And then they move on. So
Right.
like the first round's just a whole production in a show. So that's
Right.
part of why it's taken so long. But yeah, this has been brutal.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here, who they take.
Yeah, that's my main complaint, is that Dubas making that trade has kept me up longer than I wanted to be.
Me, Christopher, I'd go Potter. I like the skill set a lot. Reminds me of a better version of Carl Hagelin, especially with that speed. It's blazes like the wind out there. It's gorgeous to watch. I think he worked a little bit as a playmaker, in my opinion, but I would take Potter a little bit over him, in my opinion.
George Kittle making the pick.
I like that. That's cool.
You're a hockey player, Potter.
We'll see.
You're a forward, Harry.
It's going to be excellent at 11, but we'll see. I think Lakovic is definitely an option here if he doesn't go to above them. I think Colin Potter. I think Reed is an option here. And Reed just got taken by the Predators. Never mind.
Well, there goes that one.
I said it would be an option. So until they took him, but Potter is still very much there. Now they're on the clock. I'll be curious to see who they take. Lakovic is still there. Hensler is still there. Potter is still there. I know. There's the Hoties Jenks, people. Yeah, they make another trade here. I think Pat and I might be calling it.
Yeah, if they trade
after
out
this pick, we're probably gonna call it and then put something up for the audio people about some of the picks, and then have some fun that way.
But before we get to the Penguins being on the clock, shout out to you guys hanging with us for 3 friggin' hours on this live stream, because this has been so much fun, like an absolute blast. And especially what would you say that lasted? Half hour, 45 minutes of play and remember some guys?
That was awesome. Even Jay Fresh putting that out there. Scouting report on Kindle from someone who has played against him. Interesting. He drops the F-bomb. I'm not going to say that on the show here. I don't want to get in trouble. I predict we're traded to the Flyers. Nope, they do that. I'm out. I'm going to bed.
I will be done if they do that.
I'm out. Yeah, maybe we'll do something on July 1 if possible. That'd be kind of cool, watching some of these teams overpay for all these free agents. The Penguins are not going to be that big into.
Hey, July 1's a Tuesday, so I'm not working.
Yeah. Hey, I know, ZC, they win the lottery. We're coming on here and laughing at every team. I'll say that.
Yeah, we'll just do, if they win the lottery, we'll just do a 2-hour live stream, and it's just us laughing.
Literally. All right, let's see what they do here. Still some good talent available.
I think I said it, I can't remember or not, but the one thing I have liked about from this draft, though, is that while the draft pick cave is creepy and weird, I do like that they're doing a lot of interviews with the parents of the guys who were drafted. That's really cool to see. Just, it's an awesome day. Like, all the hot takes and analysis aside, like, getting drafted, man, like, I can't even imagine.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Penguins on the clock, folks. Here we go.
Last one, probably the night for us, people. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yins are the best. Over 300. throughout this. Keep smashing the like button.
4 a.m. in Sweden and you're hanging out with us. Unbelievable. Like,
Love you.
That's just
You're a
love
sicko,
you
but you're
guys.
great.
This is so much fun.
Yeah. Pens are grabbing Marner. Hey, man, I think he's going to Vegas.
Yeah.
I think Vegas is going to figure it out and they're going to get him. And
that's
big
where I'm at, man. Like,
yeah, I think it's going to be Vegas for him. Let's see what they do here. I might go for some size. As I said, Lakovic, I am more comfortable taking him here. Big dude, just needs to use his size a little bit more. Cullen Potter is available. You know,
Brad Tolliver. He saved the vice president.
All right, come on. 7-Eleven where I am. Oh, West Coast.
Oh, come on, ESPN. Give me that sweet, the pick is in graphic. Dave, if they trade down, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, they trade down. I'm out. I'm going to bed. I'm not going to bed. I'm just
too old for this, man. Yes, R.I.P. Powers Booth, man. Great actor.
Oh yeah. Pick is in. All right.
Pick is in. Here we go.
Let's see it.
Drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the pick in at 22, 22nd overall. How happy you're going to be if they take Potter?
Oh, I'll be really happy if they. This is a good range for him. I like him a lot. No trade down. Yes, Mayhem Maddie. We can all rest after
W's in the chat.
W's in the chat right there, guys. At least for this. Let's see who they take.
At least for the not W's in the chat. Let's see who they take.
Yeah, exactly. I'm curious to see if they take Hensler here. I would like that. I like him a lot. Yes, I know. I have been wanting Potter. I like him.
Dubas meme, our 22nd pick is the trade down.
He's got to announce it. The pick is in, except I'm going right down.
Oh, Letang's son didn't deserve that.
Red button.
Red button. I'm sorry, who?
Zonin. I will not lie to people. I have not really watched a lot of them, so I will have to do some research on that.
Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you.
There's your height, though, guys. 6'2". Big boy. He's a big boy, and he's from the Q. So I always say with the Q, like, I think players from there have to play in better leagues. Just because, like the NCAA, for example, I think makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, I'm gonna turn on the tape after this. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to everyone, the 300 people here. I have not watched a lot of this tape, so.
Well, started skating.
He's a big dude, and again, they've been talking about getting size. That's something you like right there. So,
5th most assists in the Q.
There you go.
83 points, 64 games. That's
a couple of my buddies. I know, Greg, not Colin Potter.
Hey, we still got a chance for Potter memes, guys. They still got one more pick.
Hey, man. Yeah, one of my really good draft buddies just texted me. He said, "Yeah, big power forward with skill." Just saying. Yeah, I'm gonna put on the tape, people, right after this. After we finish going live, I don't know much about him, but I will be putting on the tape. So I don't want to give a reaction when I don't know as much.
Oh. What do you think, Mr. Hodes? I don't know if I got 9 more picks in me.
I think this is good enough for now. 3 hours. We went 2 hours longer than we thought. You guys rock. 300, all over 300 of you. You guys are the best. A bunch of sickos.
Yeah. You absolute sickos. Thank you guys so much.
Don't worry. I'll be putting on the tape after this once we put out something on the YouTube channel, and I'll give you all a full report because I'm not going to sit here and, lie to
And
everyone.
as Hunter said early on, for you guys who've been sticking around the whole time, if they make any big trades, we'll obviously have an emergency episode for you guys. And first thing Monday morning, we will have our full draft recap episode. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for 3 hours and 10 minutes on NHL Draft.
Again, I said my thoughts about Ben Kindle. If people want to call it a little bit of a reach, sure, but I think he's underrated. I implore people to go check out the tape. I'm texting a couple of my people who have watched even more players in this draft because, I don't watch every single player in the draft, but a couple people I'm texting, they seem to really like the pick. So I'm excited to put on the tape and see what I see. So I'm excited. So check it out. So thank you guys again for stopping by. Sorry I couldn't provide a massive scouting report on this player, but I'm not going to lie to everyone and say that I watched the player when I didn't. That's just not what I'm here for. That's not what I do. So I'll have a full breakdown on that coming soon. And unless they don't do anything, we'll probably talk to you guys again come Monday when we fully recap the draft. And
all right. Thank you guys again.
We'll do a live stream on July 1st. We'll see.
We will talk to you either with an emergency episode if they make any big trades. If not, we'll talk to you guys on Monday. Thank you so much for hanging out. That is going to do it for our live stream. We'll talk to you later.
See you guys.